Well, friends, very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the session on Advanced Excel. I believe everybody settled down and good to go. Can somebody confirm me that I am reaching to everyone and my screen is also visible?
Yes, Prabhas.
Yeah, thank you
Yes.
so much. And I believe you have received the case studies files and you have downloaded the same. But I request you not to open that email attachment directly. Just right click on the same and go for extract the files or go for extract here or go for extract all. So what will be happening if you try to make some notes? So you should not miss any kind of notes or the updation of the archive files should not be a challenge to you. This is the reason why I request everyone not to open any files from that zip folder. Always extract all and keep a copy with your desktop. And in the meantime, let us first have a quick introduction. So instead of being alien to each other in this meeting room, we can get to know each other very well first, and you can ask your questions in the comfort zone, and we can make our program a successful one. And at the end of the day, when you step out from the training program, you can also get more confidence to make your things better. But yes, overnight, nothing is possible, people. I can only just give you the track, but in the road, you have to walk. So, work in the sense you have to practice well. So techniques, tips and tricks, time saving options. I have got a lot of things in my inventory to deliver. But only thing is you have to practice upon the same so that you can get the hang on the topics. And we have got that WhatsApp group. There is a purpose also. During the practicing hours, if you have some doubts or queries during this entire 16 hours of journey, you can very well drop a message in that. And anybody in voluntarily willing to answer on that query also, that is also welcome. And if it is remain unanswered for 2 days, I'll be stepping in to answer the queries. And any kind of concern, please drop a message in the group. We may not be available by 24 by 7 to lift your call. I'm sorry. But yes, looking at your message, definitely we'll try to give our best options so that you will not be losing something from this training. But I would request not to miss any of the classes because this is how it has been designed. All the classes are interlinked. And moreover, our program is designed in such a way it will help you, though you are from HR, accounts, finance, production planning, stores, any department, any vertical you are into. We have collated our case studies in such a way you can connect with your data easily. All right, so this is all about our case studies. Now, let me start with myself first. So my name is Pravas Panda. Past 17 years, I have been to this MS Office training and consulting. And I'm the founder and chief consultant of Excel4all. And yes, I'm delivered so many programs to the corporate giants like our L&T Group, Vedanta Group, Tata Group, and the big four firms. We are the regular trainers for them. And our expertise is not confined to just Excel. We have our domain experience in terms of Microsoft Office, all the applications, along with that, the ETL tools like Power BI, Tableau, and we do training on finance modeling with Excel, finance for non-finance. So this is our core expertise. You can talk about this. Now, I will be more willing to know something more about you as well as the expectations from this 16 hours of training program. So I'll call out the name and you have to give a just a two-line of introduction about yourself and the expectation from this Excel training. All right. So I'll start with our first friend who is the day or Ashish. Yes, Ashish. So welcome back again. And could you please just unmute and speak about yourself?
Hi, Prabhas. Ashish.
Hi.
Basically, I'm working as a sales professional, and I'm here to join. Like, I'm looking forward for Excel or advanced Excel.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you, Ashish. Next, I'll go to our friend Nagaraj.
Hi Prabhas, good afternoon.
Hello, very
Hello,
welcome.
myself Nagraj. I am finance and controller team in Alapurut, India. I'm basically from Bangalore. My intention is how advanced Excel help in day-to-day transactions so that we can implement the same in our controlling life, finance and controlling topic. Expecting more about charts and how we can that means how we can implement in our presentations that our major expectations from you, Pravas.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Yes.
And
Next,
one
I'll
more
go
thing,
to
one more thing,
yes.
macro
Yes, ma'am.
related anything. If you give the training, that will more help for me to go for the macro.
Right. Yeah, I understand the curiosity, Nagras, but this session is completely focused on our front-end features of our Excel because we have a different set of program called Excel VBA macro. And when we go for Excel VBA macro, we do not teach anything from the Excel interface. That will be dealing directly with the coding, like how to design your code or what kind of macro codes you can type it and how to make the looping all your conditions. So all these things will be dealing with this kind of window interface. And these are the toolbars completely we'll be focusing with. We are not going to discuss anything in Excel. So that's why we do not combine our macro with our advanced Excel. And
Mhm.
we have a prerequisite also. Those who are nominating for Excel VBA macro program, they should be well versed in Excel. So you can consider this program as L1. And if you're
Okay.
willing to develop your skills for macros also, we have a program Excel VBA that you can consider as L2.
Yeah, sure.
So
Thank you.
stage-wise, yeah, stage-wise learning always makes a difference because it all and sudden, if you too much, you take it, it unable to implement at your workplace properly. This is the reason why we have bifurcated these two courses.
Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
no problem. So next I'll go to, yes, our friend JP. Yes, JP, welcome back again.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon.
Um, I'm here to learn the basics in Excel,
Mhm.
pivot, charts, graphs,
Okay.
so that it helps me save a lot of time in the routine activities which we normally do with a little bit of shortcuts.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes that is happening with Power BI and then AI, which is again uh, happening. So without this fundamental, I think that will be little difficult to catch up.
True. Absolutely, I agree completely with you. So since the AI and BI tools are taking place and people are more expecting from us in our
Correct.
corporate world, unless and until we enhance our skill to the next level, then we'll be definitely in our backseat in this
Yes.
highly competitive world. So we have to groom ourselves whenever the new technology, new application comes. Anyway, that's a good thing you have just highlighted. Well, definitely I'll help you out with all your requirements. Not a problem.
You. Thank you.
Right. So next I'll go to our friend Aishwarya.
Hi all, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Aishwarya.
So currently I'm working as HR assistant with NAPAC. So
Mhm.
I'm with NAPAC past 1 year. So I'm just doing the basic, generalist activities for HR, and I'm expecting additional responsibilities sooner. So I think advanced Excel, learning advanced Excel will help me in making my work easier and effective. And that's what it is I am expecting from this session. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Aishwarya. So next I'll go to Venkat.
Hello, good afternoon.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm RD an engineer and a project manager. So in my works, I need to analyze raw material quality, chemical composition data. At the same time, I need to look into different project deliverables in relation with the times, the schedule. So I'm hoping that this course would help me to learn some
All right.
skills
Right.
for
Right.
the.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Venkat, for the inputs. Yeah. So I'll go to now next friend, Sunita.
Yeah, hi Pravas, good
Hi,
afternoon.
Sunita. Welcome back again. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm Sunita and I'm an operation leader. Right now, I am handling a few operation transactions or analysis where I'm using basic shortcuts, but I believe this Excel training will help me to be more efficient and more faster to deliver my analysis and targets, whatever I'm working currently.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. So I believe I have noted down all your expectations, friends. And don't worry, if you have any queries or concerns, or later you realize, Prabhas, I forgot to just, highlight these points in the day one and day two, you realize that you're also welcome to Just bring me to the notice and I will ensure that at least I could touch base upon the same. And regarding this program, I'll tell you some basic rules, ground rules, like keep refraining using your mobile phone calls or emails or any other things. If you believe that this is going to distract you from this meeting, please care for that. And any point of time, if you have any queries, yes, you can always take the option of your mic and you can unmute and speak about the query. And definitely I'll help you out with the proper solutions for that. Now, if you believe a lot of noise around Prabhas, around me, I don't want to speak, but yes, I would like to speak about my queries. We can use this chat box option. It will always on throughout this training program, people, and you can drop your queries and I'll definitely look into that and I'll help you with the right solution. Now, if you believe, suppose the audio exchange or the text exchange is not making any sense and you're still not clear, you need my presence on your screen. Yes, we do have an option. You can always go for the screen sharing option from this option, this tool or this icon. And I request you, do not share a specific window. Always share your entire screen or entire desktop. I repeat, do not share a specific window. Always share your entire screen or entire desktop. Reason is, if you do so, if you just share only this a specific window, what will be happening? The dialog box launches will be missing, and I have not been in a state to help you adequately. So this is the reason why we need to follow such kind of rules. Now, we'll be taking some short break during the 4 hours of journey of each session, like somewhere around 4 to 4:30, depending upon the flow of the content, we'll be taking the break. Don't worry, so that you can take a brisk and come back soon. And again, we resume our session. And yes, any doubts, any queries, people, feel free to ask. But yes, if the doubts are related to the session subject topics, whatever we are discussing, I'll be taking enough time to clarify then and there. If it is related to something, your personal queries about your data, so we'll be utilizing the break window, or at the end of the training, I can stay back for another 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I'll understand your query and I'll be giving you the right solutions for this. So this is how we are going to manage our window time. And now coming back to our files. Now this is of 16 hours journey. You must be thinking, Pravas, why are you sharing so many files with us? The reason is being there. I'm not only going to teach you the Excel topics, features, formula, functions, and tools. I am also going to give you some handy solutions for the challenges or whatever the troubles you face in your routine activities while dealing with the spreadsheet application. So now coming back to the challenges we are talking about. So you can name some challenges. You might be thinking, Pravas, I am always facing the trouble with regard to functions and formulas. Somebody will tell, Pravas, I'm unable to read my data properly. I'm unable to prepare a report out of that. Sometimes people say also to me in the training program, Pravas, I have got good knowledge, but I'm not getting the connectivity with the right formula and functions application. Like for this problem statement, what could be the right formula? I'm unable to get that mapping. So how to do that? So these are not the challenges. These are not challenges exactly. These are called as the unawareness. Means it's a lack of awareness, you can say, about the subject or the topics or the functions. So I am purely talking about the challenges. So the first and foremost challenge being a Excel user, what we are going to face, people, or what we have been facing is the file space management or file data management. What is the problem in file space management? Say, take an example. You would have created a beautiful Excel file and on daily basis, you start incorporating your data. Now, what happens one fine morning, you see or notice the file space automatically it is increased. No reason, no idea what it has gone wrong. But when you take that file in the meeting, it takes a lot of time to open. First problem. Now, when it takes a lot of time to open and processing the formula, you are keeping your audience waiting. And sometimes people pass some adverse remarks in the meeting itself. Pravas, why don't you do something with the file? It is always taking a lot of time and killing our time. People know all these problems are there. People are there to comment. Nobody is there to give you a solution. Trust me. So in this situation, we don't try to take any kind of risk also, because if you do so, there might be a chance of data loss. So we don't want to take any kind of risk and we always struggle. So what I suggest people, if this kind of situation comes, I have a solution I have already shared with you, naming called a Word document, 8 ways to reduce our Excel file size. So just watch my screen, no need to do anything on that. I'll take you through how to read this document. So the entire 8 different ways we have prescribed in very precise way, step-by-step instructions along with the screenshots. So it will be easy for you over here to identify what is the problem and how to deal with that. Take a look. I have a file of sample Excel workbook of 20 or 73 MB. You can say it's a huge data. So what I have opted, this kind of steps I have opted, take a situation. The file was there of 14.6 MB. Without deleting a single content, I have opted one method. I could reduce my Excel file size by 28%, which is the biggest achievement. So this is how there are 8 different ways we have prescribed people. And just keep this document with you. Whenever you face this kind of challenges, go through this document, follow the steps, and you have to help yourself. You may not remember the whole steps. I do agree with you, but now your perception has been changed. Yes, I have a solution with me. So I no need to depend upon any kind of third party or going to Google and doing some kind of steps over here and keeping my data at risk. So this is one document I have shared with you. Now, one more file I have shared naming called keyboard shortcuts. So if you look at in this today's world, people, where time is money, do you agree? All of you?
Yes.
Right. So if you want to save your turnaround time, then you have to stop using mouse the most and you have to train yourself using the keyboard shortcuts at max. Now, for that reason, what I have done, not only MS Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Outlook, whatever the office applications we use the most in our routine activities, the entire list of keyboard shortcuts I have placed in one particular workbook. So only thing is you have to devote your time to practice upon the same. And trust me, within 30 days, you can see the significant growth in your workplace. But you have to practice all these things. Overnight, nothing is possible. You can't by heart all these keyboard shortcuts as well. So make a point, at least 2 keyboard shortcuts you learn every day, and definitely you can make the things better. I can give you a guarantee about that. Now, one more file I have shared with you, naming called Learn Excel Free, a notepad file. Now, there are 10 website names I have listed over here. So you must be having a question in the mind, Prabhas, are you promoting all these brands with your platform? No. Or am I the brand ambassador of all these websites? No. Then why I'm sharing all these things? The reason is very simple. As I told in the beginning, Excel is such a subject. In fact, 6 months training is also not enough to complete the subject. So we have a limited window time of 16 hours. Now, suppose say you have attended this training, you have gone through a lot of topics, you have understood the whole subject matter. Now, still you want to enhance your skill to the next level. So instead of going to someone's YouTube channel, following them, later getting frustrated with that and wasting your time, what I suggest is go to all these websites. And why I'm prescribing all these websites, the reason is these websites, they have got beautiful industry-based case studies, which you can connect with your data easily. And the beauty of these websites is whenever Microsoft comes up with a new update, new function, new formula, they also keep upgrading their contents. And one more beauty is they have their own forums where you can ask your questions. You have the liberty, you can ask your questions, and you'll be also getting the answers from the experts. And one more beauty is entire thing is complimentary. You don't need to pay a single penny for that. Only thing is you have to devote your time for practicing upon this case studies. Now, one more file I have shared with you, naming called Office Repair. So you could see 2 website links I have shared with you. Must be thinking, Prabhas, why are you sharing the website links? The reason is being there. I'll tell you. I'll tell you through a scenario. So take an example. During the last monthly peer review meeting or whatever your organization's meeting you conduct monthly basis, you have created a beautiful report, designed the same and presented to the audience. Everyone was quite happy. And in fact, your immediate boss also, he appreciated your work and he said, suppose that Prabhas, this file is really good. I appreciate the homework you did. So keep it under safe custody. Next time when we are going to present it, we'll be giving more add-on to the data and we'll be presenting to our audience. Now, this time when you're opening that file to add some more data over there, what it says, the file is showing some kind of error. Excel not responding. Excel is restarted. Excel stopped working. or Excel is showing some kind of scrambled language or some kind of alien language over there, which can't be read in the normal human being. There, in that situation, when you have a meeting tomorrow, but the file status is like this today, and when you convey this message to your immediate superior stating that, sir, this is what's the problem, what do you think? Will you be happy? If you go and tell your boss in the 11th hour or the last minute that, sir, the file is not working, what will be the reaction? Definitely not positive. We know that. So he will immediately say, Pravas, how can you be so careless? How can you be so irresponsible? I told you last time itself how important this file was, but last minute you are coming and telling me all these things. I don't want to hear anything. Do whatever it takes, but by EOD today, it should reach to my inbox. So this is how people react. Anybody will do that. Now, what is the choice we have? Except depending upon the IT department, we do not have any other choice. But when you approach to our IT team, what they say, Pravas, give me 24 to 48 hours. I'm not sure I can retrieve your data, but I'll try my best. I have a meeting tomorrow. What is the point of giving him 24 hours or 48 hours? So what I suggest is people in this kind of scenario, when it comes, don't be panicked. Don't waste your time. Take one of the link. Okay, copy that. Go to your default browser, whichever it is, Chrome, Edge, Mozilla Firefox, and paste this link over there. It will take you through a website, and there you have a tool over here you have to download, and that tool you have to install, and the file which is corrupted, you have to connect with that tool. And then you have to click this repair tab. That's it. You don't need to be having a tech kind of a extraordinary or tech savvy knowledge to operate with this kind of file. Just a simple knowledge of operation of computer is enough. Now you have to leave the system, and trust me, it will take its own time, but 95% data can be recovered as it is. Now you must be thinking, Prabhas, why did you reserve 5% as data loss? Yes, there would be a data loss. What type of data? Ideally, what it happens, friends, in our Excel, sometimes we keep creating our diagrams, like our work breakdown structure, process flow diagram, organization's chart, all these things we keep creating a lot in our Excel. So those cases, data loss will be there. But if you have a tabular data, formulas, functions, charts, and graphs, everything as it is, you can recover. And the beauty of this thing tool is entire thing is complementary. But yes, there is a limitation. You can get the complimentary service only up to 5 MB of Excel file size. If your Excel file size is more than 5 MB, you have to purchase the license, because these guys also, they have to win their bread and butter from this, right? So there is nothing such called as free lunch in this world. We know that. So we have to pay for everything. So now you can ask me a question, Prabhas, my organization doesn't allow any kind of third-party software to be installed in my system. Well, take the help of IT, get it downloaded in their system, and just try to recover all the file data. Then you got your job done, right? So this is the reason why I have shared this links to you. It's not something from internet. I have just got it and I'm sharing with you. Personally, I have used this tool and I have successfully brought my data back. That's the reason why I thought it will be also giving a helping hand to our participants, and I keep sharing those knowledge with you, nothing else. So these are the files, people, just to give a helping hand. Whenever there is a need, you can make use of all these resources. Now, rest of the data, as I told you, we have understood many more business industries, case studies, and the more painful areas. And we have collected our data, taking some real-time data or SAP driven data. And I'm going to take you through, if such kind of situation comes, how to deal with the same. So our program objective would be in four things. One, how to save our turnaround time. Second, how to increase our productivity and efficiency while working in this Microsoft Excel. Third, how to avoid the duplication of work. And fourth, how to reduce the human errors. So this is our core objective of this entire advanced Excel training. So I believe we all are clear with our objective,
Yes.
right? Now, here, one thing I'll tell you, since it is a virtual program, people, okay, I will be keep asking a lot of questions like, is it done? Have you understood? Are you with me? Are we clear? So I will be also seeking a one line of support from your side. Just a message from the text box you can drop into me. Y for yes, D for done. So that will be helping me to understand we all are in equal page and we are good to go for the next level. All right. So this is how we are going to communicate in this entire 16 hours of journey. Now let's go to our first file of our case studies folder, naming called over here, corporate case studies. One Excel file is there. Kindly open that. So we'll be landing up with our cover page. Click on the next button and it will be taking you to the sheet name called business maths. Now, the first thing first, whenever you are working in Excel, being an Excel user people, you must know one thing, that which version of Microsoft Excel you are working with, or what is the Microsoft Office version installed in your system. So to know that, the best option, go to the file menu in any Excel file. And if you go to the bottom side of your left, there's an option called account. And when you go to this account option, it will take you through your version name. So in my screen, if you look at, it is having Microsoft Office 365. So looking at your case, please drop me a message in the chat box. Is it 2013, 2016, 2019, 2021, or Office 365? What exactly it is? So please find that and drop me a message. Going to the file menu, account, and see the version and load it in the chat box. Okay. So Sunita is having Office 365. Very good. How about others? Okay, I show you to Office 365. Okay, Nagara's also Office 365. Very good. Yes, Mantu, JP, Venkat. So Office 2021. Good. All right. So we all are having almost similar Windows options or the Microsoft Office version called 365. And now, why I'm asking you to do this? What is the point of knowing your own versions? I'll tell you. Sometimes what it happens, friends, you would have seen some of your colleagues, they are using some beautiful features or tools or functions of Excel and they are making their life easy. So definitely you will be also start expecting the same from your system, but your system doesn't have such kind of options or features. So don't be panic. This is because of the versions differences. So only thing is you have to upgrade your MS Office. This is one of the reason why I asked you, please know your own version. Now, another reason, sometimes what it happens, we keep working more things in Excel in office hours, and sometimes that is also not sufficient. Sometimes we need to bring our work to our home, and you just send it across the data over email, and you start working in your own personal laptop or system or desktop. But the moment you open it, your personal system doesn't have such kind of features. So you not to be panic on that case again. This is because of the versions differences. So now in one line, if you ask me, Pravas, if I'm working with my personal laptop, what you suggest? What is the version I should have in my place? Office 365. Because Office 365 is the only versions, people, you will be getting all your latest updates from Microsoft about the templates, features, formulas, functions, which you get in Office 365, you don't get in any other versions of Microsoft Excel. And there are a lot of AI tools being introduced in Microsoft Office 365 to make our job easy. I will take you through them, don't worry, whenever time comes. So this is the reason why knowing your version is very, very essential while working in Excel. Now, coming back to our first data set is called business maths. So here, people, I have collected few case studies. In our routine activities, we do a lot of basic calculations, basic in the sense like plus, minus, division, or multiplication, a lot of things we do. But the problem is we spend a lot of time for doing this kind of actions. So how to make some improvements on that, how to save our time while doing this kind of job, let's go and explore. So 1 minute, watch my screen, understand the problem statement, and what is that we need to go and how to do the right solution over there. Let's go and discuss. See, suppose say somebody from a different department, he came to me and asked, Prabhas, I need to purchase three products, ABC, XYZ. How much quantities? We are pretty clear. A of 1000, B of 12, C of 20. When I inquired with the vendor, vendor has given the rates. A of 1 rupee each, B of 20 rupees each, C of 10 rupees each. I have taken up this matter to our finance department. And my finance department person, he's asking me, Pravas, how much amount you need the check so that I can issue in favor of the vendor's name. So I need to answer that. So what we do in that case, we go to a new column, we type a formula equal to quantity multiplied by rate. And then once we get it, we get the total of that. Then we realize, okay, I need to collect a check amount of 1,440 rupees. Do you all agree with this? This is how we do. Yes or no? If the problem is like this and we need to answer in one line, so this is how we do the calculations and we state the answer to the people, right? Nothing wrong. What we are doing is absolutely right. But just think for a while. Let's analyze the same situation for one more minute. Our requirement is lying in this cell, correct? Then what is the point of getting all these three values? Is it playing any role? No, but we are helpless. Unless and until you get these three, this total cannot be achieved. So what you have understood now, we keep creating a lot of unwanted data in Excel. And that is one of the reasons why our file size becomes heavy. And one more problem with this is when you go to a new column and apply the formula over there, again, the file size becomes small. So having said this, whatever the practice we have, people, we have to stop doing that. Okay. So how to make an improvement? Just see. I'll go to this total cost cell. Okay. 1 minute, watch my screen again. I'll be giving time to try this. Don't worry. First, observe my screen. So here I'm going to write a formula. What kind of formula? Like say, if I go for sum, whichever the formula has this text called sum automatically appears over here. Now I'll go for sum product. For that, I just type P. I don't need to write the entire text of the formula. Just 3 to 4 key letters automatically sufficient to get this formula populated. But it is showing in the blue color border, but it is not populated in the cell. So how to bring that? Just hit the tab button. So that is how you can write your formula efficiently. Now what it is sum product is exactly, it is a very powerful formula since 1985. This formula is there, people, and you can do a lot of wonders by using this kind of sum product. And here, technically, sum product is an array formula. So what it demands, just see, it asks me array 1. So in our data, this is the first array, comma, array 2. So this is my second array over here, rate per unit. Now, when I provided this and hit enter, I got the answer. So even though I have got 10,000 entries, a simple formula, sum product is going to help me in bringing the entire total over here. Now, one more thing I'll tell you, when we are working in Excel and designing our reports, templates, or summary report, whatever it is, our users, they expect us that we should display the formula for the better understanding. So now the question is, in this 1440, whatever the formula I have written, how to showcase that, how to keep that formula under display. There is a beautiful formula added since 2016 onwards, naming called formula text. What is that? Formula text. So automatically what it will do, it will ask me which is the cell content formula. This is the cell. I can take it, and the moment I hit enter, this is going to return me the exact formula what I had used. So this is how, people, we use two formulas. One is called sum product and the other one is called formula text. So give it a try and check this is working. Any doubt, any queries, do let me know. All right, so I believe everybody is clear with the application of sum product and formula text. So I got two confirmation from Ashish and Nagaraj. How about others, people? If at all any difficulties need my support, do let me know. All right. So now let's go for our next situation. Suppose say we are going to work with some vendor evaluation. Ideally, when you go for vendor evaluation people, any industry wherever we are working with, our purchase department, they have their own standard operating procedure. What they say that if you're purchasing a critical item, then you should not depend upon with a single source of supply. And if you do so, you are running your business with high risk. So in that context, what they suggest is over here, just give me a second, guys. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Yes. So what I was telling is our purchase department, they have their own SOP and what they suggest, don't rely upon with a single source of supply. Always go for minimum three competitive cores. And that we call it technically L1, L2, L3. This is how we operate, right? Now, same thing we are going to do now. We have a prices column. You can notice on your screen also. Now, if I ask you what will be the L1 price out of this, just manually check and let me know. Is it going to be 87? Do you all agree? The lowest one, that is called L1. Is it 87? Do you all agree? Right. Now, if I go for L2, the second lowest, is it 99.2? If I go for third one, 103.2. So this will be my L1, L2, L3 prices. Okay. You can also cross check, right? Now, since we have got maximum 7 to 8 items, it was pretty easy for us to identify our L1, L2, L3, something like this. Now, suppose say, take a real-time situation. When you open your file, in the whole column, you have got 10,000 line items of data, and you need to find out your L1, L2, L3 rates over there. So what we do in that case? Anybody? We go for data sorting. If you do that. Mantu, we don't go for exactly the filter. In filter, since we have the sorting, we go for our sorting. The action is actually technically we go for sorting the data. A to Z, like smallest to largest order. And whatever the three line items turns up over here, we go for our considering L1, L2, L3 supply rates. And the same, we copy and paste it in our Outlook email body, send it across to our superior, stating that, sir, we have done the ground level of workings. Please approve the same so that we can start procuring the materials. This is how the practice we have. Nothing wrong. But the question is, where is the value addition in this entire process? Where is the value addition? Nothing. Sorting is a task anybody can do. Now, I could have given this task to one of my subordinate. I could have given this task to my office boy also. But being a professional, being a skilled person, why I am doing a task which is non-productive in nature? So over here, how to make an improvement? And one more reason why I am asking you to think about twice on this is this kind of sorting action, it is recurring in nature, repetitive, because today I am looking for XYZ product, I have to do sorting. If I'm looking for ABC product tomorrow or something else tomorrow, then again I have to do the sorting in the prices column and then only I can identify. So how to make it dynamic? This is what our objective now. So instead of doing this sorting action, I can go for a column naming called bottom three. And there, these three cells, I'm going to design in such a way, whenever I select a particular product, those rates will be reflecting in this particular column. But how to do that? So let's go and start working with me. Okay. Ideally, what we do, we go for a formula in Excel. Then first we go to a cell, we select the cell, type the formula, Then the same formula we go and apply by dragging like this, copying and pasting the formula, or we go for select and control D, all these things we do. But today we are going to change such kind of operation, the practice. So how to make an improvement? We can select the entire cells where we need the solution. So all these three cells of bottom three column I have selected. See how it works. 1 minute, watch my screen. I will keep my cursor aside. I'll move my touchpad aside over here. Then I'll go for equal to. There is a formula in our Excel naming called small. What it demands me? Array. Where is the array? In my left side of the formula. I'll be using my left arrow key. No need to take your cursor and select everything. Just take the left arrow key. Now this entire range I have to select because this is the array I need to search my data. Now when I copy this formula towards down, this array should not move down. So what I'm supposed to do? How to restrict the movement? Going for F4. So if F4 is not your direct key, you can go for function F4. That will be helping you to apply $2 symbol in the cells. One before column, making column lock. One before row, making row lock. So ultimately cell will be locked or range will be locked. Now come on. What is the next thing it is demanding? K. What is the meaning by K? K is nothing but number, integer, constant, ranking. So from our case, if you look at, we can consider as rank. So if I'm looking for L1, what should be the rank? 1. L2, rank should be 2. L3, rank should be 3. The question itself answer is there. So we need basically 1, 2, and 3 in place of K. But we can't define all these things together. So what we can do over here is we have got a ready-made column in column G where already 1, 2, 3 is prescribed. So I'm going to take the help of that column. So I'll take the right side arrow key and I'll be moving to G12. So G12 is the cell which contains 1 over there. And I'll go and close the bracket. Formula is ready only with one cell. Ideally, we hit enter, but today we are going to use control enter. And the moment I go for this is giving me the answer with one shot, one go. So this is how people, this small formula will be very, very helpful whenever you go for template designing, dashboard designing, or any kind of report, summary reports you are preparing, you can go for this kind of formula. So give it a try and check small formula is working for you. Any doubt, any queries? All right. So bottom three calculations, I believe there is no problem for anybody. For anybody still struggling, need my support. Yes, Mantu, JP, Venkat, Ashish. So these things will be pretty helpful. As I told you, the case or scenarios. And instead of doing that, F4 is not working, Mantu. You can go for function with F4. See, sometimes what it happens depends upon the brand of the laptop or keyboard behavior. You have to use function with F4 key if F4 is not your direct key. So when you go for typing F4 directly, it is not working, then you have to use function with F4 and that will work. Check it out. Right. Well, friend, thank you so much for your response. So let's go for our next objective, finding the top three values. Like for bottom three, we used small. For top three, opposite of small, what we can use? Well, how to able to, okay. Nagraj, that is for that purpose, we need to first check what's your brand of laptop. Sometimes those options are there in your BIOS system. We have to change. We cannot change it directly. If it is a Dell laptop, we have to change in the BIOS system. If it is a HP laptop, we have to go for some DLL file to disable it. So it depends which brand of laptop you have. Okay. So that I can help you out if you want to do it permanently. I can help you out at the end of the session. We can go for either any desk software, something we can open our links and we can operate with that. Don't worry, I'll help you. Now, for bottom three, we used small formula. For top three, what will be the opposite of small? We know we should go for the formula naming called large. We do have. So I'll go for the large function over here. This demands me again the array. I can go for prices column. Now this array should not move down or move right. I should lock it. Then comma, again this is demanding k. So I told you what is the meaning by k, nothing but the ranking. So to find out my t1, t2, t3, again I need to take this three of numbers over here. So I'll take this formula help again. And there, the moment I go for control enter, I got my records ready. So this is how people, again, the large function will be also very helpful. So this is how bottom 5, bottom 10, or anything you want to find out at any point of time, you can make use of this kind of formula. So this is about all about our large formula. So small and large, any difficulties in understanding? Right. So now the question is, are you happy knowing this kind of formulas called small and large? Just I would like to take your opinion because I'm just doing a postman job. Whatever Microsoft has designed, I am only passing my knowledge with you or sharing my knowledge with you. As a user, you have to work on that and you have to give your feedback. So here, the formula, whatever we have discussed now, small and large, I told you the applications, but my question is, are you happy knowing this? Okay, good. So Nagraj is quite happy. Right. Of course, we are happy because when we get our solution in our spreadsheet application, we are happy. This is how the mindset. But think about it. Think about it. Now, what I'm going to say exactly, just have a look at that. Now, suppose say I'm going to take two names from our group. Say our friend Nagraj and Aishwarya for the story. So Aishwarya and Nagraj, if I take your names for the story, is that okay?
Yes, Prabhas.
Yeah. Thank you
Okay,
so
no
much.
problem.
Okay, thanks, Nagraj. So take an example. This is what our friend Aishwarya has prepared a template, suppose like this. No need to do anything, just watch my screen. Now Nagraj is watching the data and he just looked at everything, but he has a question in his mind. What is the relevance of this column? Why Aishwarya has prepared something like this? So he has no idea. And he believes for a while that this column is unwanted and he deleted. Now what happens? Entire formula is in trouble. And this is what most of the time it happens with us. We design something, we create a beautiful template, we send it across to the people, and they just play around with the formula, and the formula goes for toss. And they keep bothering us. It's not deliberately something they are doing, but out of the ignorance of the formula or the helper column. So now the question is over here, whatever we did, is it a right option? We should go for it? No. So this is what our experts, they suggest us to do the job like this over here. But Microsoft Excel never recommends for that, or neither I do advise for doing such kind of things. So now the question is how to make an improvement over here. We need same answer. We need bottom three, top three, and we need those 1, 2, 3. But what we are going to do now is we are going to make our formula efficient enough in such a way. It will generate those 1, 2, 3 in the formula itself, and it will be giving the answer to us. Yes, but how? Just see. Now, if I ask you over here, which row I am in, you will definitely say row number 12, Prabhas, you are working. Yes, because row number 12 is highlighted. Yep. Now, if I ask Excel to perform this kind of job for me, then Excel will be taking the help of our formula naming called row. Naming called row. So row open bracket and close bracket. This is a predefined function by Microsoft. So I'm just going to hit enter. This is going to give me row number 12, right? Since I'm in row number 12. But what I'm looking for earlier with the value, if you are looking at, there was one. So I'm looking at one over here right now. So how to get this? Simple basic mathematics. 12 already is there. I need to deduct with 11. That's it. And the same, I'm going to apply for others. We got 1 to 3, right? So whatever I did outside of the formula range in the different column, the same thing we need to add it in the formula. But how? Just see. 1 minute again, watch my screen. I have selected the entire array. I have gone for a large function over here. I will take this array and I will lock it. Reason we know and we are clear up to this. Now, this demands me k. So k purpose, I'll be using the row function. And this row function will be giving me row number 12. Let's see if I go for this row function, is it giving me 12? Just see. Yes, it's giving me 12, isn't it? But what I'm looking for is 1. So what I can do, minus 11. And the moment I go for this, bracket close for large, formula is ready only for a cell. But I need to apply for rest. Control enter, and we got the answer. See, without taking any kind of helper column, we could generate our solution. So this is called our nested formula. So when you write multiple formula in one cell, that becomes your nested formula. So give it a try and check large with row combination. Is it working for you? Kindly confirm. So once large is done, just do the rectification of small formula as well. So is it clear? Working for everyone? Any doubt or need my support? Any kind of question? Don't feel shy because see, no one is inborn intelligent. People learn out of their own experience or with guidance of someone. But as long as your logics are clear, you can solve any equations or problems in Excel. You can't by heart the formula, you cannot remember the whole formulas over here. So you have to understand the each and every element, how I am reading the formula elements and defining one by one result. So same fashion you have to understand. So small, large, combination of row formula, usage of the dollar symbol and control enter key. Four different things over here. We have combined everything and got our answer. All right. So Aishwarya Ashmita JP, could you please help me? All right. So here, now let's go to our next example, people. Thank you so much for your response. We have a prices column. Stay focused on that. We have a prices column where you could notice the data is of having some decimals and whole numbers in place. Now, looking at the same, my boss is not happy and what he's expecting. He's saying me, Pravas, why don't you round up the data to the nearest one unit? So what is the meaning by rounding up the data to the nearest one unit? Let's go and focus. Ideally, if it is of 103.2, what we express 103. If I go for 111.5, we go for 112. This is what the logical roundup, nothing else. So now here, how we take a call that somewhere we need to take one unit down and somewhere we need to take one unit up. This is what we are not deciding. This is already predefined or decided by the post decimal character. If post decimal 5 or more than 5 is there, we take one unit up. If it is less than 5, we go for one unit down. So what is this one unit up and down? Like take an example, 103.2 is there. If I do not know what is my post decimal character and I want to round it up, there is two probabilities, either 103 or 104. So 103 for 103.2 is the lower unit, 104 is the upper unit. This is what we call it. Now, what is the difference between these two? The difference is one unit, right? The same thing called logical roundup. Now, if I need to do the same job in Excel, how we have been doing by using the formula called round. There is a ready-made formula we have in round formula. Now, here I'm going to take you through a beautiful formula in Microsoft Excel. It has been in since 2007 version of Microsoft Excel, naming called M round. So M stands for multiple. How it works, just see. It asks for number. So I have taken the data from my left side prices column. Now it asks me for multiple. So multiple has a different meaning. We are not going to multiply with any value, but yes, multiple meaning is nothing but the difference between the lowest and the highest unit, or lower or upper unit. So as we discussed, how much is the difference is of one unit. So this is nothing but your logical round off. Bracket close, formula is ready only for a cell, need to apply for rest. Control enter. So here with in round formula itself, we got the same answer. Now, this will be very, very helpful whenever you go for any kind of template designing, summary report, tabular report, or you are having a kind of purchase order, work order, some templates, or you have a costing sheet over there. You can keep this ready whenever the user types any kind of decimal value data or something. Excel will be taking care of making it rounded off. Okay. So I believe M round is clear. Any questions about M round? Now, the question is, you could have asked me a question, Prabhas, I am very much comfortable using round formula. I don't see any difference in round and M round. Then why I should learn a new formula called M round? That should have been your question. Well, if you go for round formula, okay, again, what happens? It is situation specific. Sometimes you have to use round up, sometimes you have to use round down. So this is again, we have to remember all other two formulas. So what I suggest is when your one formula is catering all the needs, then why don't you use that? So similarly, now if I go for M round, what are the other benefits? Take a look. Suppose says same prices column I have and my boss asked me, Pravas, please round up the data to the nearest 5 units. So what is the meaning by nearest 5 units? 103.2 is there. If I need to answer in this cell, how much is supposed to be? Anybody? 103.2 is there. If I need to answer in this,
05.
105. Okay. If I go for 87, what should be the answer over here?
85.
85. This is what my boss is expecting. How to do that again? So we don't need to go and depend upon any other formula. We can simply go for same M round. And then what it demands me, the number, and then it asks me multiple. I told you the meaning by multiple. So for 103.2, what will be the lower unit? If I take a 5 skip count 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, in which interval this is going to fall? Is it going to fall in between 100 and 105, right? So for 103.2, 100 is the lower unit, 105 is the upper unit. Now what's the difference? Difference is of 5 units. So that's called again multiple. Similarly, you want to find the rounded up nearest to the multiple of 5, multiple of 10, anything like how you do for our income tax calculations, gross total income and tax on total income. Always we go for it. Or as I told you, the templates whenever you are designing, just to avoid this kind of pain, like at the year end when you close the books and accounts, if you have the decimals in place, always we pass a provision. The differences is because of the decimals or rounding of the data. So all these things can be minimized and you can have the accurate value. So this is the reason why rounding up the data is very, very essential, people. And how to do it with no time, that is what we discussed, called again M round. So give it a try and believe this is working for you also. If you have any question, feel free to ask. All right. So I believe this M round formula is clear for everybody, or anybody still struggling, need my support. Okay. So let's go for our next question, people. Stay focused, please, again with the problem statement. We have a prices column. You could see it is containing the data of mixed type, like we have got positive, we have got negative also in place. So looking at the same, my boss is not happy, and what he's asking me, Pravas, do one thing. I just don't want to see the negatives in the next column. Bring me the positive values over there. So how to bring that? Well, in this case, first of all, the moment you look at your data, how do you decide whether the data is negative? Well, if it starts with a hyphen or dash symbol, or the data is entirely in two brackets, we consider these are our negatives. If none of them is available, then it's a positive one. Simple understanding. Now, if I ask you, please logically decide whether the data is positive or negative, what we do? We go and keep on checking each and every cell. If it is greater than 0, it's positive. If it is less than 0, we negative. We take a call like that. Now, the same thing we are going to do it in Excel. So whenever you happen to do a logical check or logical calculation, we have a ready-made formula in our Excel naming called if, a logical function. Now what it demands me, it demands me logical test. So what's the logical test meaning? Taking the data over here, what kind of test we want to do? We want to check, is it greater than 0? Now this entire setup is becoming my logical test for my formula. Now what it demands me, value true, because when you conduct a test, the there might be a chance of success and failure as well, but we have to follow one by one. So first, we are positively expecting if there is a possible solution or success. If the value true means what I am checking, if it is true, if it is more than zero, definitely it is positive. But which value you are expecting in the next column, the value we are checking. Okay. Now, what is the next one? Value if false. So if that is not true, there is no success, there is a failure, means the value is not greater than zero. So definitely it is less than zero. So less than zero is negative, and we don't want that value to be populated in the next column, but there should be some treatment in the next column, like zero, hyphen, nil, not available, not applicable. Anything you want to express, you have to write within two double inverted quotes. But here we are working with the template, and how the template has to be always remain blank. So blank purpose, two immediate double inverted quotes, not single quote four times, two immediate double inverted quotes. And here people commits a mistake. What kind of mistake? They define two double inverted quotes, but they define a space in between that, and that is really annoying. Those space is not visible, people, but this is counted as a character. So you have to be very precise. Now bracket close for if formula. Formula is ready only for a cell, but we need to apply for rest. Control enter. We got the answer. So this is how people a simple if formula, logical formula, how it is helping us. We got the understanding over here, right? So give it a try and check this if formula is working. Any difficulties? All right, so if formula is working, you're getting the answer. So are you happy getting the answer by using the formula for if?
Prabhas, I have a quick question.
Yes, please ask.
Could you just explain the logic again, just for my clarity?
Yep.
That if we, yeah.
Right. See, what we did basically, if I want to find out only my positive values, so the value, if it is greater than zero, then it is positive. If it is less than zero, it is negative. A simple logic we apply. Do you agree with me?
Yes, got it. Yeah.
Right. Now the same thing we are going to do it in Excel. I cannot go and directly just go and check over here, taking this value. If I want to do so, what will be giving it to me? If I go for this value greater than zero, now what will be doing it? It will be just checking a statement whether it is true or false. So is it true? Is this value is greater than zero? Take a look.
Yes.
Yes, so it will be to me true, but I don't want that true. In place of true, I want that value, right?
Got it.
So for that reason, we have to go for over here. Same thing, but we have to write a if formula before that. And then if this is true, what you're expecting, I don't want true, I want this value. So I have taken that. Now, if this is not true, means when I go and copy this formula towards down, definitely this value is not greater than zero. So what you're expecting, I'm not expecting that value. I'm just expecting a blank cell. So two double inverted quotes is nothing but the blank cell. Now bracket close, formula is ready. The same I can apply for others also. That's it.
Got it, Prabhas. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. So again, I asked this question. Are you happy knowing this? Control enter is not working. Yes, it will work, Mantu. You should have selected the entire array. When you go for control enter, you should have selected the entire array. And then you start working with the formula and then hit control enter. Now, suppose say you have forgotten to do that and you have just gone for enter in one cell. Then what you need to do? You need to select the rest of the cells along with that, open the formula and hit Control Enter. It will work. So this is how Control Enter you have to apply. Okay. Now, so as I was asking you that, are you happy knowing this formula? Yes, everybody says. And trust me, 95% user, they go for this kind of formula looking at the situation like this. But I don't recommend if formula over here. Yes, we got the solutions, and what's the problem? Why don't I recommend? I'll tell you a very simple reason. The moment I started the training program, what did I say? Our first and foremost challenge is about the file space or file data management. So remember one thing all the time. In any Excel file, the more the if formula, file size will be more. Yes, Venkat, just give me 2 minutes time. Okay. The more the if formula, file size will be more. So if formula should not be your first choice. If formula should be used only in the worst case, like the moment you do not have any other option, go for if formula because it always occupy a lot of space. Now here, if I don't recommend this, then what's the alternate solution? How to keep my formula crisp? How to reduce my formula length? Just watch my screen. I have got an alternative column. I'll go for a simple formula naming called max. We know what max formula does. In a range which is the maximum value, it returns the answer over there. So I'm going to take the same and it demands me number one. So I'll go for this value as number one, comma. What's the next one? Number two. So which one is supposed to be my number two? Just see. The moment we discussed that logically we need to identify the value is positive or negative, which value we have compared with. We have compared with 0. The same thing I'm going to do. So what I'm trying to do now is I am giving a command to Excel between 0 and the value which is more, you please return the same as answer. So we are not discussing anything below 0 cases. Jobs become very simple. Formula is ready only for a cell. Need to apply for rest. Control Enter. And we got the answer. So this is how people, when you are at the audience seat, if you are looking at my solution, which one you prefer to see the most? Option one or option two? Definitely option two. Whomever you send it across, everyone will be having the choice to work with option two because nobody is interested seeing the lengthy formula over there in Excel. Yes, give it a try and check it out. Yes, Venkat, you can share your screen. If it is not working, I will help you. Right. First, you go and select everything. The solution area, you got to select first. If you want to use Control Enter, you got to select the solution area. Right. Equal to, go for if formula. If, not max, not max. Here, if max is the alternate, come down, come down, come down. Not in this exercise. Come down. No, no, keep the cursor outside. This is where we are trying it. Yeah, Control Enter is not working. You said you go to the alternate column. Just select the alternative column, solution area. Yeah, select the entire array toward down also. Yeah, now go for equal to. Type the max formula. Yeah, tab. Okay, number one is the prices column first value, comma. Number two is 0. Bracket close and hold on. After bracket close, just hit Control Enter. Both together, Control Enter. Click OK. Have you given comma? Yeah. Okay, in your case, that separator is colon,
Yeah,
your
yes,
formulas.
exactly. Yeah.
Yes. because your control settings are different. That's why instead of comma, you have to go for colon, and it will work
Yes.
fine. So I believe now control
Yeah.
enter is working for you. Okay,
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
right, fine, no problem. So I'll be taking the control back on the screen, people, and now we have understood how to make use of a simple logical function and how to keep my formula length just crisp over here and getting our solution. Now I'll take you through one more example, people. Sometimes we face some challenges with regard to the date calculation. Like take a situation. Suppose say on 11th December 2019, I furnished one AMC for HP printer and the warranty period was of 16 months. Similarly, for a Sony projector, warranty period of 12 months. So different equipments or assets based on that I have got the warranty period is different. So I need to find out when this contract is going to be expired or when the warranty is going to be expired so that I can renew the contract or so that my AMC will be renewed and I can keep my assets secure. So this kind of situation when it is there, first of all, we know one thing, the date has to be pinpoint accurate. We cannot just take a call whether plus or minus 1 day difference is there, we can accept it. No, such kind of things are not acceptable. So now if you look at the first case, 11th December 2019, after 16 months, what would be the date? Just manually check and let me know, please. Anybody?
Tenth April 2020. 21, sorry.
21. Okay. Can somebody validate that? Is it the right answer or we have something else?
Sorry, 10th March 2021.
10th March. Okay. See, for a particular case to find out the result, we took this much of time. Think about it. Suppose you are the owner of all the AMCs. Your job role is to handle the entire corporate's AMCs. So how long it will be taking for you to get this job done? Here, our experts, they will suggest you different things, people. But again, if you ask them, the question mark is whether the data is accurate. They will say, "Bhai, I have designed the solution for you. Please take some random cases and check it out. I can't give you a guarantee about it." So what's the point of taking their solution when they themselves are not confident? No need to do anything over here, people. The very best solution I'll tell you, select your entire things and go for equal to. There is a beautiful formula in our Microsoft Excel naming called E-date. E stands for electronic date. Very beautiful formula, going to help you a lot. I'll tell you the situations also, but let's first complete the formula. This demands us start date. We do have, come on, this demands us again the months in the formula. If you look at, so month is there in my left, I can take that, bracket close, formula is ready only for a cell, but we need to apply for rest, control enter. We got something. What is that exactly?
It's in numbers.
What is this numbers about? Nothing new. I'm asking, you come across this kind of situation a lot. We know the solution, what to be done. We go for right click, format cells, date, we convert. I'm not asking about that. I'm just asking what is exactly signifying. Because what I suggest people all the time, learn in such a way that if any layman is also asking a question, you should make him or her understand. So here, suppose say I got this. The person who is sitting next to me, he asked me, Pravas, what is this about? What I say, this is not none of your concern. Just do one thing. Remember the solution. Right click, go for format cells, go for date, and date will be ready. Because we are looking for the dates. This is how we try to surpass those things. Never ever do that. If suppose somebody is asking the question, if you do not know, that's fine. Go and explore the things. What is this about? So let me take you through some situations, people, because being an Excel user, we must know what exactly it is. So let me take you through some real-time data over here. Take a look, please. Suppose say if I ask you what is today's date, what will be your answer? Is it 12th August 2023? Yeah. So this is with the help of a quick keyboard shortcut, we could generate that. Okay. This is called our keyboard shortcut. Now, the same thing we can bring it on by using a formula called today also. So this is also going to give me today's date. If you see the output, any difference? No. But there is a difference in terms of nature. So what kind of difference? If you go for a formula driven result over here, this keeps our data dynamic. It will keep on changing. Whenever I open the file, it will take my system date and it will keep on changing. So that's called your dynamic state of your data. Now, if you take a keyboard shortcut to generate today's date, this keeps your data static. Even though you open the file after 5 years, this cell is going to reflect only 12th August 2023. Hope this is clear. Right. Now, I'll take you through the next level. This is what our date, okay? But date is just a format. Technically, if you look at in that date, what is the value it is working? The value is nothing but is this 45,150. Now, what is that this 45,150? I'll tell you. In Excel, our calendar system, if you look at, it starts with the date naming called 1/1/1900. 1st January 1900 onwards only our calendar starts. Now, if you go and ask Excel when Mahatma Gandhi was born, Excel can't give that result because the calendar starts from 1/1/1900. Okay. Now, what is this date about? This is just a format, but behind this, the value is this. So 1st January 1900 is considered as day one. Starting from that date, if you consider our today's date, we have already passed 45,150 days. This is what the meaning. But this is nothing but our general format of our data. What is that? General format. Now, same value I'm going to take. This is our number format of our data. Only thing is value remain the same. Window dressing of your data is changing. Same data, I'm going to take it again. This is called your time format. Same value, one more time, if I take it, this is called our date format. Again, I'm going to take the same value. This is called your currency format. And then one more time, I'm going to take it. This is called our percentage format. So ideally, people, while working in Excel, we deal with this kind of formats. Data remains the same, value remains the same, only thing is formatting is changing. So now, if you try to connect with our data, which format it is? Is it general? Right? But what we are expecting? We are expecting the date format out of this, isn't it? So any point of time to convert any format to date format, what you can do is simply go for our keyboard shortcut. I'll tell you. Control Shift and 3. Can you see a hash key symbol is there in the numerical 3 button? You got to go for Control Shift and 3. This will help you to convert your data from any format to date format. Just try this, right? Control Shift and 3. This is there already listed in our keyboard shortcut list. Only thing is you have to practice. So hope you got a basic understanding. What is that data about, how the data is being recognized in Excel? Any doubt, any queries? See, since so long we have been working in Excel, but have you ever explored that? Just to be honest with you. So this is how so many things people, without knowing the logic, without knowing the basic things or basic elements, we keep running the show. And later, somewhere or the other, we struggle. We try to take the expert's help, or we go to the Google and find the solution. So we are always scared for the solution. We never pay attention why the problem is there. So this pattern one you have to change. And for that, awareness of all the functions, functionalities or formula, everything you should know. Anyway, so we got our expiry date ready. isn't it? Fine. Now, do you think that our job is over here? What say? No. Why? We got the date. What's the big deal? We got the answer. No, that alone is not enough, people. What is the risk factor over here? I'll tell you. 11th April 2021, is it going to fall in a weekday or weekend? That also we need to identify. So now the next objective is we need to know how to extract a day from a date. So what we can do, see the stream of mine. There is a beautiful formula I can use called text. What it demands, value, this is the data. Now, what kind of format we are using, the format text. Ideally, when you go to our formats in Excel, we go for DD, MMYY or MMDDYY, where D stands for day, M stands for month, Y stands for year. So our requirement is not to deal with the month and year, we need to deal with the day. So within two double inverted quotes, we need to type 4Ds over here. And this is going to help me in bringing up my day. Now, why 4Ds over here? To get the complete string of my day. Like say, take an example, the moment I go for this, is it going to give me the entire thing like Sunday? Just see, when I select everything, is it giving me Sunday? D, 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 D. Yes. If I go for 3D, what is going to happen? Only the first three characters of the day, like sun, month, all those things. If I go for 2Ds, what is going to give me? It is going to give me just over here the numbers of the day. So since we need the complete string of the day, we go for 4Ds. Is it case sensitive? No. Excel formulas are not case sensitive. Now formula is ready. See, as we are anticipating, the very first case, it is falling in Sunday. So we need to just renew the contract before 1 or 2 days, depending upon 5 or 6 working days in a week. So this is how people we have understood how to extract a day from a date. And this is very, very essential. Whenever you download the data from SAP or ERP people, you will not be finding a separate column called day. Sometimes you need to generate those values. Check it out. Is it working? Okay, there's a question from Mantu, how to get back to the general format. Yes, that's a good question, Mantu. See, I'll tell you. Whenever you happen to convert any format to general, above to the tab key, we have a infinitive symbol. Everybody might be having, if it's a Windows-based laptop or desktop. Okay, so you got to go for Control, Shift, and tilde. This key is called tilde key. So Control, Shift, and tilde will be helping you to convert any format to general. Control Shift 1, number. Control Shift 2, time. 3, date. 4, currency. You can see the dollar symbol is there. So Control Shift 4 for currency. Control Shift 5. Can you see a percentage value? It's for percentage. So starting from this infinitive key till our numerical value 5 with Control and Shift combination, you can switch all the formats. Right. Now let's go for finding the month and year also. What we can do, same text formula for month, but I can go for within two double inverted quotes, M4 times, isn't it? And I'll be getting the result. But in case of year, I no need to go for such kind of lengthy text formula because text is a lengthy formula. So what we can do is we can go for a simple year formula, which we have ready-made in Excel, and we can take the date of expiry as a serial number, and we can get our answer populated. So this is how people, wherever it is possible, try to keep your formula length minimum. Reduce your formula length also, or keep your formula crisp. So this is how people we have understood the business maths case studies, the formula, the daily essential formulas, some product, formula text, small, large, with combination of row, m round, if, max, the next logic, and then we go for e date, text, your formula. Any doubt, any queries in this business maths calculations? Great. Thank you so much for your response. I got Nagaraj, Aishwarya, and Sunita confirmed. Yes, Venkat, JP, Ashish, 1, 2. So all these things, now it sounds good. You are getting it through the exercises, but you have to practice that and you need to understand also the logic so that any other situation comes also, you can make use of the same. Okay. So with this, we'll go for our next called data presentation. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, friends, there was a bit glitch. Okay. I believe now it is Audible to everyone? Can somebody confirm?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now this data presentation sheet over here, what you're going to discuss. See, in this data-driven world, mere having the data alone is not enough. We have to do a lot of things with the data. Like sometimes we need to do the data mining, data crunching, data churning, or sometimes we need to do the data analysis. And finally, we need to visualize the data and present it effectively in terms of a storytelling format. So a lot of things are there around. And who is having more data, the power is with him more, we call it as. So now here, what we are going to do is we can go for our 1 year revenue data over here. Okay. Suppose say my boss asked me, Prabhas, get me the entire revenue report. So I have combined multiple Excel sheets or Excel workbooks and I have got my data. Now what I prepared over here so far, anybody can do that. Nothing something called rocket science, but that alone is not enough. So now the question is how to make it informative. What else we can add it over here, or how to take it to the next level. When we present it, our audience will be happy watching the same and they will be appreciating our work. So the first thing first, if you look at our data doesn't have the total. So let's go and create a total first. Keep your cursor in the total cell and go for Alt equal to a quick keyboard shortcut to get the sum function. And the moment you hit enter, is it giving you 33,715? Kindly confirm. Now, maybe my immediate boss would be happy watching the same. What I prepared, billions, millions, lakhs, crores. Maybe my immediate boss would be happy watching the same. But when I'm presenting the data to the management, do you think that they will be really interested to see all these boring numbers? No. But they want to see the revenue data. How? They want to see as a percentage because they don't have time to go through our boring numbers, lakhs and crores. So we need to create one more column naming called revenue percentage. Let's create that. Now, what should be the formula for revenue percentage? Let's watch my screen for a minute. I'll go for equal to taking the value from left, that is our revenue data, should be divided by the total revenue. Do you agree? Do you agree with the formula? So each and every month I have to divide with my total revenue. So month value alone should move down, but total revenue cell should not move down. And what I need to do with that, I need to lock it. The moment I lock it over here and the moment I hit enter, you can notice this is going to give me the answer in terms of decimal. But what I'm expecting the data to be in percentage. So how to get it in percentage? Simple. As I told you 5 minutes back the story, to convert any format to percentage format, Control Shift and 5. Wow. Now the same I can apply for others. How? Just taking the drag button and double click. This will be applied for the whole column and I need to make a total. What is the shortcut? Alt equal to. Is it giving you 100%? Just see. Yes. So we got our information again. This is adding one more value additions to our data, presenting our records in terms of percentage. So go for it, please, people, and check, is it working? All right. So this is one more value additions to our data, people, how to give it. We got the basic understanding. Now, what else we can do over here? Let's have a look at that. The moment we go for this, We can compare our data month and month, like Jan to Feb, Feb to March, March to April. What do you call this? MOM comparison or month and month comparison. So we need to define proper word naming called growth. So let's go and create another column naming called growth over here. Now, what should be the formula for growth calculation? Let's see. Suppose say Jan is my first month of the business year or calendar year I am following. I'm not following the financial year, is the calendar year. Since this is the first month, whatever I have got January month before that, is there anything to compare with? No. So growth will be nil. Ideally, logically, growth will be nil. But when I go to Feb, we have got something to compare with. So what should be the formula? Equal to Feb month revenue minus Jan month revenue. We can take this simple basic mathematics again. Now the same I can apply for others. So we can go for double click on the fill handle, or we can go for select and control D. So this is how we got another column ready, people, naming called growth. So just confirm it, please. Right? Everyone is clear getting the answer. Any difficulties? Anybody? Fine. Now, growth in terms of value, maybe my immediate boss would be happy watching the same. But when I'm presenting my data to the management, they are looking for growth, but that should be in terms of percentage. So we are going to create one more column for the value addition of our job, naming called growth percentage. Now, what should be the formula for growth percentage calculation we are going to discuss? Okay. So now the moment I go for growth percentage, first of all, think that since we have got growth nil for the month of Jan, growth percentage also will be nil ideally. Yes. But when you go to Feb, what should be the formula? Equal to whatever the growth we have identified in the left column, that should be divided by the base month. So for Feb month, what is the base? Base is the Jan. Simple. Now the same when I go and hit enter, it returns the answer in terms of decimal. But we are expecting the answer in terms of percentage. And we know to convert any format to percentage, Control Shift and 5. Now the same we can apply for others. Double click on the fill handle and we got our growth percentage ready. Check it out. So we have added one more column. Now, what else we can do over here? Just take a look. Suppose say somebody asked me when I complete my business for the month of Jan, somebody asked me, Prabhas, how much business you made? So what will say? My answer will be 3963 USD. Now the same question, if I need to answer after completing the business for the month of Feb, what will be my answer? Whatever my Jan month value, I'll be adding it in Feb month and then we'll be giving the total figure. Similarly, when I go for March, I'll be adding Jan plus Feb plus March. If I go to April, Jan plus Feb plus March plus April. What do you call all these things? We call it as a cumulative value or accumulation of the data. But in Excel language, we call it as a running total. But this running total, when you are going to present it in our Excel reports, you need to use the proper corporate jargons. And what is that exactly? Is nothing but YTD, year to till date. So now our next requirement is, as a value addition to the data, we need to create a column naming called YTD. So how to go for it? Watch my screen. Since Jan month is the first month, whatever my Jan month revenue, can I take this as the YTD for the month of Jan? Of course, yes. So I'll take a simple formula equal to taking the Jan month revenue data and hit enter. So same value as it is populated. When I go to Feb, what should be the formula? Equal to Jan month YTD. I'm not going to take anything from the revenue column. I'm going to take from my YTD column plus Feb month current revenue to make it cumulative. Just see. So when I go for these two cells, is it showing me the value of 7748? Yes, 7748. So we got the answer right way. Now the same I can apply for others. Double click on the fill handle. How will I know I'm in the right track? When I go to the December month YTD value, is it matching with my total revenue column? Yes. So we are in the right track. So this is how people, we got one more column ready in our data to make it informative, naming called YTD. Just go for this. Right, people? I believe this is working. Any doubt, any queries, or anybody needs my support, not working for you, or getting a different answer? All right. Now, YTD in terms of value, again, my immediate boss would be happy watching the same, isn't it? But when I'm going to present it to the management, of course, the management is interested to see the YTD data, no doubt, but it should be in terms of percentage. So now we are going to see how to present our YTD data in terms of percentage. So create one more column naming YTD percentage. And then it's very simple now. How? Just select your entire range the way I'm selecting. Select your entire range and go for Control R to fill right. So in the left side, whatever the formula is there, same formula will be applied towards your right. Now, formula is done, but it is showing the answer in terms of decimals. And we know how to convert into percentage, Control Shift and 5. Now, how will I know I am in the right track? If you go to the December month YTD percentage, is it matching with my revenue percentage column total? Yes. So we are in the right track. So this is how people, we have understood now. We had only just two columns. This much of task was pending. And this is what inherent by nature. The data itself needs all these things. Nobody is going to demand you all these things. And it is not just confined to accounts, finance, production, marketing, whichever the department, wherever you are working with, all these calculations are very much needed. And we call it as different types of statistical calculations. So I believe this is working. Kindly confirm. Any doubts? Right. Now, once we have done with this, select your data, Control A. Make sure that, please, people over here, whenever you are having many more columns of data, always give a feel of a table. So how to give a feel of a table? Like applying the borders. And how to apply the borders? We can go for over here, Home tab. We can go to the borders. We can go for all borders with the help of mouse. But the same thing, if you want to do it with a quick keyboard shortcut, just select your data, go for Alt, H for Home, B for Border, A for All Border. So both the give choices we have, I have given you both the options. Whichever it is comfortable for you, you can go for it. Objective remains the same, but if you ask me, I would suggest go for the keyboard shortcuts because formatting is something you will be doing 100 times in a day. So better to save our time at least 100 seconds. You can go for keyboard shortcut. All right. So how to apply borders? Just press one by one. No need to press all the four keys together and expecting Excel to do the job for you. No. All right. So how to apply this borders and all, we got the basic understanding. So this is our first thing. Now, remember one thing. Whenever you have multiple columns, people, the latest style of data presentation, it says that the first column should be always aligned to the left and rest of the columns should be always aligned to the center. So how to align to the center? Going to home, we have a alignment group and you can choose center. This is with the help of mouse. Else, the same thing we can do by using the keyboard shortcut Alt H for home, A for alignment, C for center. So whichever it is comfortable again, Alt H A C, center alignment. Similarly, if you want to align left, Alt H A L. If you want to align right, Alt H A R. So this is how the menu driven keyboard shortcuts you can explore by yourself from the ribbon menu. Make a list of that and keep practicing upon the same. And definitely you can save a lot of time. All right. So I believe all these functionalities, whatever we discussed, is working fine through the keyboard shortcuts. Now, once I have done with this, coming to the minimum look and feel of your data to be improved also, because as a presenter, when I'm presenting nowadays, my audience is very smart enough. They also look at this aspect, how I am presenting my data, because numbers, anybody can present it. My presentation style makes me different from others. So if I want to stand out of crowd any point of time in the corporate world, people, you need to focus on your presentations part as well. So don't be in the impression that, okay, presentation is the part of PowerPoint. Why I need to do it in Excel? When there is a demand to come to PowerPoint and present it, I'll be thinking about it. Not like that exactly. Nowadays, our audience expectation levels are something different. So they do also expect that in Excel, when you are presenting the data, you have to make something different. So basically, which is in the hotcake market called infographic presentations. Okay. So those things you have to always care for it. Now coming back to our data. So how to give a pleasant look or how to give a soothing expressions over here? Just see. Ideally, to present it something kind of a eye-catchy presentations, we go for our home tab and we believe we can go for some fill color and font color. We can give some kind of colorful look to the data. And we believe this is the only one. But trust me, there are many more beautiful features than this we do have in Excel. Only thing is we need to explore. What is that? In the same home tab, people, if you see in the styles group, I have an option over here naming called cell styles. So when I go for this cell styles option, there are many more styles are there. And in this themed styles, when I go scroll it down, can you see in the bottom, we have got some high definition colors with the high contrast to the background in the color of white. I can take that. Similarly, I'll go for my top row. I'll go for home tab over here, cell styles, and I will be presenting something like this. Not making overload with the colors, but yes, minimum colorful applications always makes a difference in your presentations. So this is how people we have understood how to make our data informative. All right. Any doubt, any queries in this, whatever we did so far, people? All clear? Fine. Now see, just 1 minute or watch my screen. Since we have made the things better in Excel, suppose my boss asked me, Pravas, why don't you get all these things in PowerPoint? I no need to struggle. I can simply copy. I can go to my PowerPoint over here, and then I can go to my presentation slide and simply right click and paste as an image. So when I go for this over here, I can just extend it. And when I'm going to present it to my audience, it is going to give a neat and clean look over here. So I don't need to struggle and think on that. So this is the reason why always try to make your things better in Excel itself. So hardly you need to struggle in PowerPoint. All right, fine. So we have seen how to make our data informative. All right. Now we'll go for discussing the same, how to make our data presentable. Okay. So here, to make it our data presentable, we'll discuss after a short break. So in my system, it is of 4:3. I consider 4:5. 10 minutes break will take, and dot 4:15 p.m. as per Indian Standard Time will be catching up again. Okay. So have a brisk or cup of tea or coffee. Come back soon. We'll discuss our rest. So I'll be in mute. I'll be back dot by 4:15. So I believe everybody's back. Could you please respond in the chat box? Why for yes? Okay. So thank you so much for your response. So let's go for our next objective over here is how to make our data presentable. Okay. Now, to make our data presentable, suppose I say 1 year data we have about our revenue. I have selected something like this. And then what you can do is simply convert your data into table by hitting a keyboard shortcut Control T, T for Tango, T for table. So when you press Control T, you can see this is giving me a dialog box like this. Only thing is you have to click OK. Now the data is converted into table format. Looks good. How? Alternate rows are highlighted. Your headers are defined with some kind of background fill of colors. Filter buttons are activated. And top and bottom row, if you talk about, this is also highlighted with some kind of thick rows. So this is how we have understood that how to add immediate table format to the data. The same thing you can do by going to home, format as table. You can also manually take your own choice out of this, but this is what you have to do it manually. Okay. This is coming up with 3 different categories like light, medium, and dark. Don't go for the dark options any point of time because remember, the more the dark colors in any Excel file size will be more. So you have to work with only with the light or medium options out of this when you go for a tabular format. Now, data looks good. Boss is also happy. And we know one thing, when boss is appreciating my work or he is happy with my work, what happens next? Anybody? Yes, Nagraj? What's your belief? Increments? JP is expecting increments. Okay, very good. Good sign. We should expect. Yes. Nagaraj, what's your opinion? If boss is happy, what happens next? Appreciation. Okay, that is what I'm telling. We are talking about. Well,
Yes,
Sunita
growth.
is, yeah. See, if you are having a thought process that increment elevations to the next level, promotion, that's a myth in the corporate world nowadays. And that is their due at the year end only. But immediate, notice what happens. The expectation level goes high and the workload increases, and same happens all the time. So be ready for that. Now, suppose say this is what our friend Aishwarya C has presented this. Boss is quite happy. Then immediately, boss also says, what is that? That Aishwarya, you have given me the revenue data. And I just would like to know to generate this much of revenue, how much incentives we have given. So we need to go and calculate incentive also. So let's go and create a column naming called incentive. Okay. Now, the moment you type incentive and hit enter, can you see the beauty? It automatically takes the entire formatting carried forward to the next column, right? So I don't need to be struggle for taking care about the formatting. Excel is doing the job for me. We can save some time. Now, coming back to the formula. Suppose say in our organization, we have a uniform policy that whatever the revenue item we generate or whatever the billing we do, our people will be entitled for 2% incentive. This is just an assumption, okay? Now, having said this, if I go for calculating my incentive, what will be the formula? Equal to. Now, taking the data from left, if I go for it, it will take automatically this kind of formatting. What kind of formatting? Like square brackets are there, at the rate symbol is there, revenue with USD column headers is available. So all these things are there, isn't it? So this is the default format of the table. You don't need to go and keep typing all these things. This comes automatically. Now we need to go and multiply with 2%. So as we discussed, now the moment I hit enter, can you see the beauty? It is not only applying to a cell, but also the entire column. So I no need to go for copying and pasting the formula. I no need to drag the formula. I no need to go for double click on the fill handle. Can you see how your speed is also increasing because of format as table, right? So this is how people we have understood some basic options or advantages of our data if you convert into table. And this is what nowadays you have to do it must, because the moment you work with your Power BI or Power Query or Power Pivot, this is one of the minimum element. Your data must be converted into table. And in this training program, you are going to also know further advantages of converting our data into table. When the time comes, I'll tell you, don't worry. So this is just a beginning. So can I take that everybody is clear with our incentive calculation? Any doubt, any queries? All right. Now, incentive is done. Let's go for calculating our next column, naming called net revenue. So go and type. The moment you hit enter, again, the same formatting is being carried forward. Yes. Now, what should be the formula for net revenue calculation? Simple, basic mathematics equal to revenue column minus incentive column. B24 minus C24. And the moment you hit enter, this is also populating for the entire column. So this is how people we have understood for doing the data entry operations also. Table format helps us a lot, and with no time, we could populate our data properly. All right. Now, once we have done with this, next, as I told you, whenever we have the data, okay, we need to have the total. But in our data, we do not have the total. But technically, we no need to go and create it manually also. So how to get the total then? If you keep your cursor anywhere in the table, can you see one table design, one extreme right ribbon tab is available, right? Table design. Here, when you navigate, do you see an option called total row? The checkbox is not activated. So you got to activate that. And immediately in the bottom phase of your data, a total row will be added. And this is showing the total only of net revenue column. What if I want my revenue column total? So you can select the cell. You can see one drop down list is coming up. And in that drop down, you can go and click. It will show the list of formulas. Now to make a total, which formula will be the ideal one? Of course, we know the sum formula. See the beauty. Everything is there. The entire thing can be customized according to the need. So that's what the beauty of format as table. All right. So I believe everybody's getting the same feel on their table. Total is added. Yes, Ashish, which one you want me to repeat? The total one?
Yes.
Yeah. You keep your cursor in the table in the extreme right of your ribbon. You just see I'm highlighting extreme right. The tab or the menu option is table design. When you go and click inside, you have an option called total row. So this checkbox needs to be activated. And then a total row will be added. You got to keep your cursor in your revenue column total cell. A drop down will appear. In that drop down, you need to go and select the function called sum. Yes, any questions from anybody? Okay, some is not reflecting. Fine, JP, you can share your screen. Nagraj, I'll come back to you. Just give me 2 minutes. Yes, JP, you can share your screen. All right. So yeah, you got to keep the cursor in the total. Just one cell below. One cell below. Yes. Drop down is not appearing. Okay, fine. No issues. Now do one thing. Close this file. Close this file. Save it. Don't forget to save it. Close this. Now reopen that file again. Yeah. Now keep the cursor there in the total box. Yeah, you just remove it. Yes. Okay, total. Yeah, just keep the cursor aside. Yeah. Mm, fine. Let's do one thing. 1 minute, 1 minute. Hold on. Let the total be there. Now keep your cursor in column E, total cell, column E, total cell. Yes. And go for control minus, control minus. Yeah, go for entire row and click OK. Now keep your cursor in the table, anywhere in the table, and go to same option, design, and now activate total row. Yeah. Now go to that total row cell, one cell down. Okay. This problem should not have happened, but anyway, let me check. Just go to the
Maybe
file
it
menu.
is.
Yeah, go to the file menu. Just go to the file menu, please. Yes, go to the account. Yes, so it is 2016 activated. Okay.
2016. Yeah.
2016. That's what the problem. Since it is activated product, sometimes the format incompatibility will be there. But
Okay.
the same file you open in a new blank file, it will work. We can also check that. Don't worry. Just go for that.
No issues. I'll try that. I'll try. No issues.
Yes. Yeah, you can check that. If
Yeah.
still is not working, then we have to do some other work around.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take the control back on the screen. Yes. Before that, our friend Nagraj, he asked something. Yes, Nagraj, you are asking me about something, highlighting that presence. You mean to say that zoom effect, that circular effect, the embedding effect, which comes in
Yes.
your. Okay. You want to activate that?
Yes.
Fine. Go to the, I mean, you can share your screen. I can guide you. That will be also very, very helpful when you are conducting any kind of your regular meetings. You can keep your audience engaged with that kind of option. So go to the search bar in the bottom left, search option is there. And there you go, type control panel. Just type control. Yeah, control panel is there. You click that. Now there is an option called mouse. It is alphabetically arranged. Go to the mouse option. Yes, towards your right. Yeah. And once you click, the third tab from the top is deals with pointer options. In the top, we have got tabs. Yes, third one. Now come to the extreme bottom. It is showing show location of pointer. Checkbox is not activated. You can activate.
Yes, sir.
Now click OK. Click OK. Now leave your pointer. Leave your pointer. Just leave your pointer. Wherever you keep, just keep the pointer. Don't do anything. Just leave the touchpad. And now keep hitting the control button. Just keep hitting the control button.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how whenever you want to show something in the meetings, in your numbers or any kind of actionable items or any kind of buttons, you can showcase like this.
Okay, then. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no problem. All right, friends. So here we have understood how to use this format as table option and how this has been helpful for data entry actions and how to bring the formats by taking the Excel help automatically. And finally, how to bring the total over here. We got the basic understanding. Now, once it is ready over here, keep your cursor in one of the header and go for Control A. As I told you over there in the previous step that whenever you have multiple columns, ensure, yeah.
Sorry, you are not sharing anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Thanks for reminding me. I shared, but accidentally. Okay, it's okay. All right. So I believe now it is visible for everybody. Able to see my screen?
Yes.
Right. Now keep your cursor in the header. Keep your cursor in one of the headers of the data and go for Control A. Now, why I'm asking you to keep the cursor in the header? Because in a table format, if you keep your cursor inside the table anywhere and Control A, the top row and bottom row will be missing from the selection. So you have to be very careful. So this is the reason why I asked you, keep your cursor in the header. So when you go for Control A, it will be selecting for the entire tabular data. This is the difference. Now, as I told you, always give a feel of a table by applying the borders. How to apply the borders? What is the keyboard shortcut? Alt HBA or borders, all borders from the home tab, we can go for it. So this is the first thing we should do. In the previous step also we have explored. Nothing new. Now, once we have done with this over here, the next step, what we can do, just see. As I told you, when you have many more columns, the first column should be always aligned to the left and rest of the columns should be aligned to the center. And to make it center, Alt H A C one by one. Else, Home tab, alignment, center alignment, we can choose. All right. Now, once we have done with this, though we did all this kind of formatting changes, people, but there is still one problem you can notice. Just watch my screen, no need to do anything. Our column headers, the data is not still properly being displayed. Can you see that? And this is what most of the time it happens with us. Whenever we copy the data from one Excel file and we paste it in our current workbook or worksheet, this always gives this kind of hash kind of symbols. And what we do, we take our mouse pointer, we keep expanding the columns, double click at all, and we waste our time. Technically, those things not needed. So how to save our time? What we can do is, people, we can select all our three columns, starting from revenue, ending up with net revenue column. And we need to go for a simple exercise is auto fit of column width. And for that, you can go for taking the help of mouse, home, format, and auto fit of column width with the help of mouse. Else, you can go for a keyboard shortcut, Alt, O for format, C for column, A for auto fit. So whichever it is comfortable for you, you can go for it. So I gave you both the option, but I recommend keyboard shortcut. Right? So it comes neat and clean, not a problem. Now, once we have done with this over here, next thing is just take a look. In our previous exercise of business maths, I told you in Excel, each and every data, they are recognized by the data types. Like date should be in date format, percentage should be in percentage format, and general data should be in general format, time data should be in time format. Similarly, the numbers, wherever we have, it should be in proper number format. So kindly select all the numbers of my table of data, and then any point of time to convert any format to number, Control Shift 1, and immediately you will be finding your entire data, whatever you have, a uniform decimal is appearing, post decimal maximum 2 characters is popping up, and before decimal comma separated is also coming up over here. So this is how we have understood how to present our data in a presentable fashion so that people will love to see it. And if you believe the post decimal characters are not playing any role, you can remove the decimals by going to Home tab, decrease decimal 2 times, else you can go for Alt H9 to remove the decimals. So choice is yours, but this is how you should present your data. So I believe this is clear. Any doubt, any queries, anybody? So could you please confirm everything is working fine? Now, once we have done with this, let's go for over there, our next sheet, naming called date calculation. Again, one more beautiful example, people. Let me take you through that. Everybody can connect with it properly. Take a look. Suppose say these are the employee codes of those employees who are working in my department I have with me. My management has given me a task stating that Prabhas, I am sending, suppose whoever my directors are there, XYZ, they ask me, Prabhas, I'm sending the date of joining of those employees who are working with you. I just seek a report from you. What is that? Please find out their experience as on date and submit a report. So what my boss is expecting, that if the person A003, he joined in 31st December 2008, I need to find out what is the experience of him as on date, like 5 years, 10 days, or 5 years, 12 months, 5 days, whatever it is. I need to present it. So this is what the ask. Okay. Now, if this is the thing, how to deal with it? So again, our experts, they will be giving you different stuffs, but the question mark is about the data accuracy. I will tell you people, there is only one solution over here if you want to do the job with no time with 100% accuracy. What is that? Is we need to deal with a hidden formula of Excel, naming called date diff. This formula is hidden since 1985 till 2021 or Office 365 of our Microsoft. Why it is hidden? Because this formula has got a drawback. Okay, that's why Microsoft has decided to keep it in the hidden state. And those who are having the logical clear, then they can use this function in their workplace. And to prove that it's a hidden formula, I'll show you something. See, since afternoon, whatever the formulas we have discussed, if you go for and typing it, Microsoft Excel gives a helping hand. What is this formula about? Now, if I go for the tab key, it also explains me how to write this formula. Whereas if you go for date div, do you get anything? No, not at all, because this formula is hidden. Trust me, there is a formula like this and we are going to use the same. But how to write it? Since the instructions are not clear visible, we have to work together. So let's start working with me. Keep your cursor below to the year, the first yellow colored cell, and type the formula equal to date diff. Make sure you're typing your spelling properly. DATEDIF. Bracket open. Now, instructions are missing. So how to write it? Remember one thing, any date formula you discuss about it always starts with a start date. So in our case, what is our start date? Is date of joining. Is date of joining. Well, we have taken comma. What's the next one? When we are computing the difference between two setup of dates. So as my boss has demanded me, starting from date of joining, till what date I am looking for the experience till today. So end date is nothing but today's date. But do I need to write a column separately with today's date? No. We have got a very beautiful ready-made formula I told you in the previous example called today. So today formula basic job is in my system, whatever the date is there, it will go on populate over there. That's it. So today formula is acting like a end date. Fine. Now, which column you are computing the difference in the year column? So our third element is to be the year. So how to define that? Take the cell for the timing above to the year cell for the timing. You take that and bracket close. This will be giving a error. Don't be panic. Why it is giving an error? Because out of three inputs, the third one is defined to a blank cell. So let's go back to the blank cell and here what we can define. As we discussed already, the date format, how it is supposed to be DD or MMDDYY. And I told you D plays the role of day, M month, Y year. So to represent our year, we can just simply type Y over there. And the moment you hit enter, can you see? It gives me the answer. So though it is a hidden formula, but still date diff is working for us and it is giving the solution. Check it out. All of you are getting the same answer, 14 over here. And what is the role of today formula to generate today's date? What is that date diff formula? It's a hidden one. How to write? What is the elements are there? We are clear. So just check it out. Any difficulties in understanding this formula? Do let me know. All right. So I believe this is working for everyone. Right. Now, since we have got the solution for our year column, okay, let's go and do a practice for finding the result for month and day also. So for month, we can go for M and for day, we can go for D. Let's type the formula again. Since it is not visible, let's do a practice again. Don't copy paste the formula. Don't drag the formula. Type it again, fresh. Is equal to date diff, date of joining as a start date, today formula as a end date, Excel operator in the top. It will be giving you 175. Again, going to the day is equal to date diff, taking the date of joining, comma, today formula, comma, Excel operator reference. So this is how you will be getting the answer, people, over there. And kindly confirm all of you have got the formula set up like this. Yes, Venkat, you can share your screen. Equal to did div D4. That's what you type the formula. It's showing error. That's what I told you. Go to that blank cell. Go to that blank cell above to the year, and there you need to type Y. Just type Y alone and hit enter. Not year completely. Did you get that? Now you have to complete for month, giving the month as M, day as D, and you have to write the formula again.
Yes, I will do that.
Yeah, just
Thank
type
you.
M. Just type M alone, not month text completely. Just only M. Yeah. So try to do complete that. Yes. Anybody else is facing any trouble in writing our date D formula? Anybody?
Yes, I'm getting error as now.
Okay. You can share your screen. Let me have a look.
I need to enable share.
Not enabled.
Just give me.
Yeah, yeah.
Is my screen shared? Not sure.
Yeah, I can see your screen. Just go to that Excel. No, it was. Now it has gone.
Now,
No. Yes.
now,
Able to see. You are getting a circular reference. Why is it? Let me have a look. Yeah, go to Excel, please. Yeah.
I don't know what is happening.
Yes. So here, go to month. Okay, you have taken date. You have taken C6. See, technically, that's what I told you. Don't drag the formula. The mistake is you try to
No, I just
drag the formula.
typed
No, you type it. Now you type it equal to date div over there. Just type equal to date div bracket open. Take the start date, date of joining, comma. Take today formula bracket open bracket close, comma. Take Excel operator in the top, that is M, and bracket close and enter.
I'm getting
Hmm.
this.
Why is it? The reason is if you go to your month operator, that M with what you have written, there is an extra space. Check it out. There is an extra space. Can you
Okay.
see now? Yeah, that was the mistake. So again, go to day also. Yeah, here also one extra space. Fine. Now it will work. Right? Fine
Thank
then.
you.
So I'm taking the control back on the screen. And now over here, the moment we have got the records, I believe everyone is clear with our date diff formula, though it is a hidden one, how to write this formula over here. Now, once we have done with this, stay focused for next 2 minutes. Don't do anything. Can we express our experience of that employee in this format, like 14 years, 175, 5,337? Is it a right way to express with? What say? JP, Aishwarya, Sunita, you are most familiar with this kind of data. So definitely not. Logically also not expressible like this, obviously. Then what is this answer about? These are nothing but our individual component-wise differences. But what we are looking at is when you go and combine year, month, and days, that should be the entire experience. Or the other way, if you discuss in the month category, 175 months are there. We know one thing, a standard logic. Whenever number of month reaches to 12, it becomes 1 year. Now, if I want to know how many years are there in this 170 month, what is the basic mathematics we apply? Number of months divided by 12. Do you agree with my formula? And then this gives me a result 14.5833 and all. So what is this 14 defines exactly? 14 years. This is already taken in the year category, right? That cannot be ever expressed again in the month. So what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to only present 0.588 and all over here. And that is called incomplete month in a complete year. And to make it happen, just do one thing. Go to our Excel operator. Instead of M, go for YM. So YM stands for year to month, the incomplete months in a complete year. And see the beauty, the moment you hit enter, can you see? Entire 14 years have been removed and only the balance leftover months, which is below 12, that is only it is showing on the screen. Similarly, if I go for my day, instead of D, go for MD, not YD, go for MD. M stands for, again, D stands for day, we know, but MD combined together, month to date. So the incomplete days in a complete month, that alone will be expressed over here. Just see the bit. Now it is giving a perfect expression, 14 years, 7 months, and 12 days. So hope you got a basic understanding of the operators like YM, MD, what kind of role this plays. Right. We got the solution only for one employee. Yes. We know once it is ready, the same we can apply for others. What is that? Double click on the fill handle and our problem starts. Except the first employee, rest of the cases, it is throwing error. Why? Let's check it out. If I go to my first error in the year column, what is that it is saying? When I copy this formula towards down, my date of joining is moving from C6 to C7, isn't it? C6 to C7, it is moving. But along with that, my Excel operator is also from D4 to D5, it's moving. Can you see that maroon color border area? This is also moving, isn't it? So this is what the problem. Though our date of joining is moving, but Excel operators should not move. So how to rectify that? We can select everything, open the formula, which is creating a trouble. D4 is creating a trouble. I can lock that. How to lock it? By hitting F4. If F4 is not your direct key, go with function with F4. Formula is rectified only with one cell. Need to apply for rest. Control Enter. Similarly, for month column, which is creating a trouble, E4 is creating a trouble. Lock it. Control Enter. Day column, which is creating a trouble, F4, lock it, Control Enter. So this is how people, when you go and work with this is what the formula will show like. So you can cross check and confirm your formula is working, result you are getting. Any difficulties, do let me know. Right? So now, knowing this formula over here, are you happy? Yeah, I just would like to take your opinion because you are going to use it extensively, obviously. Of course, yes, isn't it? Okay. Now I'm just slightly changing my question. Please stay focused over here. Now take a look, going to each and every column, editing the formula, locking the cell, for 3 different column for 3 different times to rectify the formula. Are you comfortable doing the same? So when you are not comfortable, do you think that Microsoft Excel will ever recommend to do your job like this? We are doing, no doubt. This is what our experts suggest us to do the job like this. But when we are not comfortable, do you believe that ever Microsoft will be giving us suggestions to do the job like this? Never. So in that case, what we did is not recommended. This is what we are not supposed to do. All right. So when we are not supposed to do anything, then why will be doing it? So let's go on delete. The entire yellow colored cells you must delete. Now you must be thinking to us what kind of trainer you are. First, you are telling very important scenario. We are giving our 100% focus on that. Then later, once we find the solution, you are telling this is not recommended, because sometimes people, we need to learn from our own mistakes. What we are not supposed to do, we got to know now, pretty clear. Now, how to make an improvement on this? Let's focus. As we have developed the practice, first, select your entire yellow colored solution area. This is we have started, right? Now, leave your mouse, leave your touchpad, go for equal to immediately and start working with the formula date diff. Date diff. Now the concept, what I'm going to tell now, very important again. So stay focused. Date diff. What is the first input? Is the start date. Start date is our date of joining. When I took this, what is that input it has taken? C6. What is the role of C? C is the column. C is the column. What is the role of 6? 6 is the row. So we have understood our data is now in their column C and row 6. When I copy this formula towards down, it should move C6 to C7, C8, C9, C10, and so on. So data is not confined to a cell, it is moving. But how it is moving? When I pronunciate, which one sounds common? C6, C7, C8, C9, C10. It sounds C is the common. What is C? We have understood is the column. So we have understood our data is moving, but it is moving in a column. So when data is moving within a column, we should lock the column only. Instead of locking the whole cell, we should lock the column only. And to lock the column only, we need to bring the dollar symbol before column. And to bring the dollar symbol before column, hit your F4 key thrice, 3 times. Hit your F4 key 3 times. What happens? You can also cross check. The dollar symbol is appearing only before C. It means making it is column constant, column freeze, or column lock. Now, what is this column freeze and column lock? I did not understand. I'll tell you. Just see. When I go for making F4 3 times, dollar symbol is before C. So when I copy this formula towards right, C6 will never go to D6 because column is locked. Okay. When I copy this formula towards down, C6 will go to C7 because row is free. And this is what we want. When I copy the formula down, cells should be moving down. But when I copy the formula right, cells should not move right. For that reason, column constant. This setup was missing. Comma. Now what is the next input? The end date is today's date. So when I go for today's date, this doesn't need any kind of locking because the default nature of today formula is to generate today's date. So whichever the cell it goes, it will generate today's date only. All right, comma. Now, what is the third input? Our Excel operator. Where it is? It's in D4. Now, when I copy this formula towards down, D4 should not move down. That's what we have experienced. But when I copy this formula towards right, D4 should move to E4 for month calculation. E4 should move to F4 for day calculation. So there is a movement. D4, E4, F4. Now, which one sounds common? Is the 4. What is 4? 4 is the row. So we have understood our data is moving in a row. And if it is moving in a row, instead of locking the whole cell, we need to lock only the row number. And to bring the dollar symbol before row number, we need to hit our F4 key twice. So this makes our row constant or row freeze or row lock. So what is that meaning by row freeze or row lock? When I copy this formula towards down, D4 will never go to D5 because row is freezed. When I copy this formula towards right, D4 will definitely go to E4 since column is free. So this is how people, this setup was missing. We have understood. Now bracket close. Now hold on. We have designed the formula only in one cell, but we need to apply for the entire selected yellow colored cells. So what is the shortcut? As we discussed, Control Enter and see the beauty. With one shot, one go, entire formula is ready and giving the answer over here. So this is how people, we need to write our formula in Excel when you design the formula in a whole table. So something vertical it is moving, something horizontal it is moving. You have to design the formula in such a way. So go and give it a try and check it's working. Any doubt, any queries? Fine then. So this kind of formulas applications people will be very, very helpful whenever you are computing one special, I mean, the ready-made case you have to find out or compute the experience over here. The other one, when you want to calculate the span of the project or any kind of task between two different dates, or else if you are working with some kind of other task, like say you have taken something on her rental basis, how many days exactly it has been used starting from day one to day end, you can also compute like that. But this is what the formula will be working fine for you, trust me. So make use of that. And yes, this kind of dollar symbols application is very, very essential to avoid the duplication of work. Else every time you have to keep just changing the dollar symbols for locking the cells. All right. So date calculations, whatever we did, I believe this is clear. Now let's go for our next. The sheet name is called Goal Sick. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about a data analytical tool of our Microsoft Excel people. It's a very good tool, but hardly people use it. Why people are not using? Because they do not know how to use it. But yes, this is really going to work fine for you. But before that, let's discuss something about our data. We have taken a salary slip over here. Everyone is getting salary, so you can connect with your data easily. That's why I have updated this example. Now, basic is there of 40,000. DA is 20% of the basic. You could see there is a formula driven cell. HRA is 50% of the basic. Again, it is a formula driven. Medical allowance is say as 15,000. This is static. Uniform allowance is of 12,000. Don't go by this salary values. These are just the hypothetical figures. Don't expect that how come the person is getting 15,000 as uniform allowance. So this is just a hypothetical figures. Okay. Now connect to data first. So now we have got monthly CTC. Monthly CTC is nothing but the summation of all these above values. Similarly, we have got one more cell called annual CTC, which is again formula driven monthly CTC multiplied by 12. So this is all about our data set or data formula. Just go through this. Any difficulties in understanding any of these calculations?
No.
Fine. Now consider a situation. I'm taking again the same two names of our group. One is Aishwarya and the second is our friend Nagraj. Now I am going to add one more over here, say our friend Sunita. So Sunita, if I take your name for the story, is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you so much. Now take a look. Suppose say our friend Nagraj, he is getting large volume of task and he doesn't have the sufficient manpower to support him or assist him in his day-to-day activities. So what he will do? Definitely, he will be approaching to our recruitment team and he will be declaring the JD of that particular person, how it is supposed to be, what should be the roles and responsibilities, how much experience he should or she should have. All these things he will be making it clear and he will be giving a mail or he'll be dropping a mail to our recruitment team. Now, suppose say our recruitment team is being handled by our friend Sunita. So Sunita, taking that JDC, will start searching a suitable candidate for that job role. So where she will approach first? First option right now, people would like to prefer to go to LinkedIn, right? Because that is quite genuine platform and you can get the entire picture of the candidates, seeing the profile, and without investing anything as a recruitment expenses, we can get a free of cost a good candidate. Only thing is we have to invest our time and money for if you are a member. So now suppose say our friend Sunita, she has done her job and she could find a suitable role, unsuitable candidate for this job role. And that is what our friend Aishwarya. Now Aishwarya's resume has come to our friend Nagraj's table. Being a team leader, he has to take the final call, taking the interview of Aishwarya and whether we should hire her or we should let her go. He has to decide. So this is what the situation. Now, when Nagraj started taking the interview and he has asked the questions, Aishwarya very well has answered all the questions, whatever it has been asked by Nagraj. So Nagraj satisfied quite that I got my candidate, I should hire her. But that alone is not enough. The discussion comes to the end now with the compensation part. So for this job role, Nagraj has offered 11 lakhs 40,000. But looking at the offer, Aishwarya did not find it is so eye-catchy or lucrative, so she was a bit unhappy, and Nagraj could make out from that face. So Nagraj gave a comfort zone to Aishwarya, stating, Aishwarya, if you have some expectation, you can speak up. Now, when she get a chance, she did not want to lose, so she said, Nagraj, if you are offering 14 lakhs of CTC instead of 11 lakhs 40,000, I am ready to join in a day or two max. Don't worry. Well, now the question, the problem statement. Nagraj, he doesn't want to lose Aishwarya over here because she's a good candidate. But if he accepts her demand, what should be the structure of the salary? This is the first problem which he has to solve. Now, having stated over here, internally, our friend Nagraj, he has got a authority from the management for this gap to fill. Management has given a power to our friend Nagraj stating that, Nagraj, take anybody, no worries, but ensure that at any point of time that person's basic should not exceed 60,000. So management given the power, but given a capping also on that. So it should not disturb the hierarchy also. So now Nagraj has got another problem. If he accepts the demand from our friend Aishwarya, the basic is whether it is above 60,000 or below 60,000, then also he has to check that. So now Nagraj has got two questions, two puzzles to solve to take a final call on this. Okay. And to take a final decision or call on this, how much time will be taking? If you were in place of Nagraj, okay, let's start with Nagraj first. So Nagraj, what's your opinion? How much time it will be taking for you to close this?
I think it will take 5 minutes.
5 minutes, suppose you have got 4 to 5 minutes over here. I mean, like this, but technically when you have the CTC of multiple components, you have to take enough time. Now for that example purpose, I have only take five variables. But if you take a real time, our salary slip components, we might be having variable components, right?
Yes, then it will take
Right.
more time. Then we
Right.
keep on
So,
working on it.
right. So ideally to be in safer side, we take a call of half an hour, almost all the people. Do you agree with me?
Mhm. Yes.
So everyone, most of the things it's common you work in any industry, people always take a call only after half an hour or 1 hour, they will buy some time. Why? Why they try to buy some time? Why don't they take the decision immediately then and there on the table itself? Why we are asking Aishwarya to be waited in our reception or lobby and we will let you know in couple of hours or half an hour or 1 hour? Or if I mean, or if I buy some time for that, what I do in that time of half an hour? So what Nagraj or anybody else, whoever in place of Nagraj, what they are going to do in that half an hour? They will come back to the workstation, they will go to the data, and they will start taking the different permutation combinations in the basic. Like how to start with, just watch my screen. Basic should not exceed 60,000. Management has given the capping. I will start from that point first. Now it is showing 15 lakhs 48. So I am in safe. So I can still have a chance to hire Aishwarya. But she is expecting only 14 lakhs. So what should be the structure? I'll go for 57,000. Now it is a bit close. I'll go for 55,000. So like that, unless and until this becomes 14 lakhs, my permutation combination will be keep on continuing. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is the place where we spend time. And that is the reason why we buy our time of half an hour, 1 hour. So there is no standalone answer that I can get my 14 lakhs with 5 hits, 10 hits, 15 hits. It's up to me. Like it differs from person to person, what kind of values I am taking or operating with that. So that is what our internal calculation. This is what everybody does. Now keep that things also on hold. Now see the other side of the situation. Suppose our friend Aishwarya, she is waiting in the lobby. Nagaraj has still a chance to click this or crack this lead. Now suppose say next to our company, and in that company our friend Aishwarya still she has got a job interview scheduled over there. But timing was different. So she thought for a while, rather sitting idle in this company, I should go and check with that interviewer if she's or they are ready, the recruiter. I can go and utilize that time. Everyone will think like that. So she went there, and that recruiter immediately accepted her demand. So now what do you believe? Aishwarya is going to come back to our company, Nagaraj?
No,
Not at all.
not
So
at all.
Aishwarya, you will be willing to come back again to this company?
Probably not.
Definitely not. So in this case, what happens? Now the consequences, just imagine. Nagraj has lost a good candidate because he could not take the decision immediately then and there. This is the primary problem. Now, behind the scene, whatever Sunita has given the efforts, filtering out the candidate's resume out of multiple sources, LinkedIn, Naukri, Monster, or in colleagues and amongst she has passed on that advertisement or she has passed on that job post, and finally she had got that resume. Whatever the time she spent, that also it has gone into drain. And the lead time, what Nagraj should have taken to close this gap, that it has been increased. Now, Nagraj again will be questioned by the management why you are taking this much of time to fill this gap. The productivity is getting hampered. The efficiency is going to get down. Why don't you close it immediately? So this is how all the consequences are there. Can you feel that what I'm saying?
Yes, true.
Right. So having said this, people, the bottom line is while working in the corporate, most of the time taking the right decision on right time is very, very essential and crucial for us. And being a team leader, being a department head, it is most essential. So right now, to solve this puzzle, instead of taking or buying some time of half an hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, how to do the same job in no time. That's what we are going to discuss. And for this, we are going to use a data analytical tool called GoalSeek. Now, how this works over there. Remember, whenever you want to use GoalSeek, first thing is where we find that tool. If you go to the data menu, can you see we have a group called What If Analysis? Okay. So in
Yes.
this What If analysis, we have an option called GoalSeek. So this is where we are going to explore. So I gave you the place where we have to work. Now, before working with GoalSeek, there are two rules you have to always follow, people. Your data must be formula driven. So the data where we are working with, there should be a formula driven data. Static cell, if your numbers alone is there, it's not going to help. It should be a formula link. Well, we have got many more formulas. No issues, no worries, it will work fine. Now, coming back to the next rule. If you go to our data, first 1 minute, watch my screen. I'll go for what if analysis, goal set. Now this is giving me a dialog box. What is that? First, set cell. What is the meaning by set cell? Set cell is nothing but objective cell. So if you have understood our whole story, what is our objective? Anybody?
14 like CTC, 60,000 basic.
So if you look at the earlier case was 40,000. Okay. And our CTC is our objective cell, and this cell must should be 14 lakhs. This is what our objective, right? So when I go for over here goal sake, the first criteria is set cell. So set cell is nothing but should be the objective cell. And remember, rule number two, whichever the cell you consider as an objective cell, that must contain a formula. So annual CTC is our objective. Is it containing a formula? Yes, monthly CTC multiplied by 12. So rule number two is also satisfied. Now coming to next criteria, to value. How much value we are expecting in this total CTC? How much value Aishwarya is demanding? 14 lakhs. So we should write it 14 lakhs over here manually. Remember, to value you cannot define to a cell reference or you cannot make it dynamic. You have to always type it manually only. Now coming to next, by changing cell, which cell you change so that the total CTC will become 14 lakhs. So buying that half an hour time, which cell we were trying the different permutation combination is the basic one. So this should be your changing cell. That's it. Now see the beauty. The moment you click OK, on your blink of your eyes, Excel will be taking different iteration and calculations and immediately it will throw the result. Now, if 14 lakhs our friend Nagaraj is going to accept, this should be the structure of the salary. Is it less than 60,000? Of course, yes. So without making a delay, Nagaraj will take a call. Yes, Aishwarya, we are through with the interview and you are welcome in our organization. So rest of formalities, my HR will be taking care. So that's it. So this is how people, any point of time to take a call, this tool is going to be very helpful. So where I can use, this is one live example. I'll tell you one more over there. One is when you want to calculate your break-even point, if you're working with a costing sheet, you want to do the profitability analysis, all these cases when you want to play around with your data, you can take this kind of tool help called GoalSeek. And one more example I'll take you through. The moment when you have started paying your home loan, if you have bought a home just to our tax benefits, whatever the income tax benefits you want to obtain it over here, we just go for minimum home loan where we can get the maximum tax benefits and we can deduction the claims over there. So there, the moment you pay the EMI, the bankers fix your EMI. Have you ever tried to check whether I'm ending up paying the right EMI, what I'm supposed to pay, or is there anything excess I'm being paying to the bankers? To check that again, you can take the help of this GoalSeek tool. So there are many more cases, but yes, these rules you have to always remember. Data must be formula driven and your goal seek purpose, whichever the cell you consider as an objective cell or set cell, that cell must contain a formula. All right, so try this and check, is it working fine? Any doubt, any queries, you can ask me. So taking your live data, you can keep practicing about this people and you can save a lot of time, trust me. Yes, any questions from anybody? Is it working fine? Can I take your consent, please? All right, great, no problem. So now let's go for our next. It's called Data Clean 1. All right, data cleaning. Why is it essential in working with Excel? The reason is people, 90% cases, whenever you download the data from SAP or ERP system, or you receive the data from your customer, vendor, whoever, or internally from any other department also, most of the time the data will be in uncleaned fashion. So unless and until you clean up your data, the data will not be ready for next level and you have to struggle a lot. So even though you are a wizard in Excel, and if you do not know how to clean your data, you will end up spending a lot of time. So data cleansing is a necessary action, primary action, whenever you download the data or start working with your data sets. So this is the place where people spend a lot of time. So if you want to save your time, how to do it, that is what our objective now. Take a look. I have got a sales data. Suppose say I have received some dealer wise last 3 years quarterly data over here, whatever the balances. But I could notice that there are so many errors in place, like hash division, hash name, hash reference, hash value, hash num, all these kind of errors we come across most of the time. And what we do when we come across this kind of errors, we try to find out the reasons behind the same, going back to the source data, we try to analyze. And when we go in-depth study of the data, then we realize that these errors are because of some data absence or format incompatibility or case sensitivity. And technically, these are not playing any role. So we ignore this kind of reasons and we ignore the errors and we send it across to the next level. And our problem starts there. Now, suppose say having this kind of errors in place, I sent the data to my boss and I have marked CC to 4 different people. Now, total 5 people have the same question in the mind, Prabhas, why there are so many errors? Now, I need to explain the same thing to 5 different people that it is because of data absence or format incompatibility or case sensitivity. Now, think about it. Whose premium time is being wasted when I explain 5 different times to 5 different people? Of course, it's mine. But my time is not my time, it's my organization's time, right? So who is held responsible for this? Behind this wastage of time, who is held responsible? Can I blame to those 5 people? They are my audience. So I am preparing the data for the audience only. I cannot blame my audience at any point of time, and that to my boss. And we know one corporate truth. What is that? Boss is always right. So there is no scope of blaming the boss at any point of time. So it's my mistake. So how to deal with the same? So what we have understood from the entire scenario is the mistake over here. When I receive my data having the errors in place, it is my primary duty to replace all these errors with some kind of predefined text. Zero, hyphen, nil, not available, not applicable. Then only I can stop people asking unwanted questions. But how to do that? Ideally, anybody if you ask, they will say, Prabhas, I can go for find and replace. Find and replace will work, but only one error you can handle in one time. Here we have got varieties of errors. So first we have to make a list what are the types of errors we have, and that many times we have to roll out this activity of find and replace. Technically, that is a tedious process. I would never recommend, and neither you would be also happy using that time and again. So the best option, what to be done? Let's go and discuss. So objective is wherever the errors are there, we would like to replace with a text called NA. And for that, start working with me. Keep your cursor anywhere in the data and go for Control A. Control A. Now, on your keyboard, press Control G. G for Gamma, G for Goa. Go to special box will be appearing. There is a tab called Special. Click on that, the Special tab. And then it will take you to our Go to Special dialog box on the screen over here. And you can see there's an option called Constants. I repeat, Constants. Kindly select. Having the selection with constants, kindly delete or kindly remove numbers, text, logicals. I repeat, don't forget, selection on the contacts. Sorry, you must select the option called constants, and you should deactivate numbers, text, logicals. Errors, let it be. Don't change, do anything, any kind of changes on that. Now, having said this, click OK. Now just watch your screen. What is happening? From the entire range of the data, only the error-driven cells are alone in selection. Leave your mouse, leave your touchpad, direct type. What is that? NA. Wherever it is getting typed, don't worry. But if you're really interested to know, you can look at your formula bar. And having said this, this is NA being typed. Yes. Now hit Control Enter. When you hit Control Enter, hold on, what is happening? The entire selected errors, is it being replaced with the text called NA? Yes, but the job is not done yet. The final step, do not ever forget to do, is going to Home tab and color those cells. And why we need to color? Because as a data presentation procedure, what you need to do, you need to type one cell in the bottom line stating that called as legend. And you have to state that the yellow color cells are nothing but the error driven cells replaced with NA. So whomever you are going to send the file, they can read the legend and they can understand that what the treatment you have done, you have given to all these yellow colored cells. So this is how we have understood how to clean up our data, how to clean the errors before dispatching the same to the next level or before doing any other next activities upon the same. Kindly confirm all of you are able to replace your errors with NA and you have colored them. Any difficulties? Do let me know.
Prabhas, could you repeat it once again from that constant go to special?
Yeah, yes. You have to first select the data, then Control G, Then you have to go to special, the tab. Then you have to select constants and then you have to remove numbers, text, logicals. Do not change the constant pattern to formulas. Constant should be there on. And then once you click OK, only the error driven cells will be selected. Leave your mouse, leave your touchpad, type NA and hit Control Enter. And finally, go to the Home tab and change the color. Fine then. So this is how we have understood how to easily work around with our errors at once if you have a huge volume of data in place. These are called time-saving techniques, and these are called the procedure to handle your text-driven errors. Now, if you look at our data set, there are certain cases you could find that we have got blank cells in place. There is one over here. If I scroll down, one over here, again, one over here. So now the question is, whatever the blank cells are there, we would like to replace with a text called nil. So how to do that? So again, let's go for a hands-on practice. Select your entire data and go for Control G. Click the special button. Can you see we have an option called blanks over there in the go to special box? Select that, please. Blanks. And the moment you click OK, watch your screen. What is happening? Out of the entire data set, only the blank cells are alone in selection. Leave the touchpad, leave the mouse, immediately type nil, N-I-L. Wherever it is typing, don't worry, go for Control Enter. And final step, don't forget what we have to do. Going to the Home tab, color those cells with a different color, say green. And I can put one legend in the bottom stating that the green color cells are nothing but the blank cells replaced with nil. So this is how the story we have understood from our data clean one file people. So just check, hope everything works fine. Any doubt, any queries? So all clear so far, whatever we discussed, right? So any questions anybody has, feel free to ask. Okay, so now let's go for our next naming called data clean 2. So here, what we need to do, let me first give a connections with our data. Most of the time, what it happens, friends, the moment you download the data from SAP or ERP, you will be finding there are two areas always been in trouble. What are they? The number column will not be in number format. The date column will not be in date format. And unless and until you clean them, the data is of no use. So this is what something we have right now. Let me take you through. Suppose say my boss asked me, Prabhas, get me the entire fixed asset register. So I gave a respective T code in my SAP system. I download a data set near about 1 lakh records. It comes in this format. What is that? Like we have got the asset code, we have got the asset description, we have got the asset class. So this is our first problem area. What is the problem? The column is containing the numbers, but it is not compliant with the proper number format. Now, first question, Prabhas, how did you identify this? Well, very simple. When I look at my data, you can notice in the top left corner, there is a green color flag symbols are there. So it's a simple message. It is not compliant with the right format. Maybe it is not in number format, that's for sure. But which format it is then? Could be general, could be text. I never know. Now, unless and until I clean this, I am not going to operate in this data. But how to clean this? Our experts, they will suggest to you, Prabhas, don't worry, select the data like this, go to this yellow colored symbol and go for convert to number. Don't ever go for this option. Now you must be thinking, why, Prabhas, I have successfully done that data cleaning by using this operation? Well, I'm not saying it will not work. It will work, but this option is being designed to deal with the limited row items like 10, 20, 30, max for 50 items. You can opt this method. But how much we have? We have got 1 lakh records. And by mistake or unknowingly, suppose you have gone for this options to opt it to bring it to a proper number format, you will be inviting the trouble. What is that? Excel not responding, Excel is restarted, Excel stopped working, Excel is crashed, or Windows is hanged. You have to restart your system to further work on this. So this is the problem we need to avoid. And for that, this option is not recommended. Then how to clean it? Start working with me. Keep your cursor in the first value of our asset class and select the rest. Control Shift down arrow key. And then go to your data menu. We have an option called text to column. We have an option called text to column. Okay. Now, once we have got this text to column input wizard, if you click here, no need to do any kind of changes. Directly go for finish button. And when you go to the finish button, the entire data is cleaned. Can you see the best option? 1 lakh, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs rows also, it will work like a charm. Check it out, confirm, is it working? So we got our first problem solution, people. Simple and sweet solution with text to column. Now, come to the extreme right. The column name is called year. In this year column, people, you will be finding some ready-made errors are there, like hash value. Why? If you take any random cell and open the formula, you can realize there is a year formula embedded in the year column, and we have discussed in our business maths case studies also, there is a formula in Excel called year. But that year formula is depending upon our date column. You can see. And now it is pretty simple message for us to understand that since my date is not in proper date format, that's why my year is not fetching the value. Yes, pretty clear. So let's go to our first date value and select the rest. Now, looking at the date, please find out what is the problem in our date column. Anybody?
The dot added 01.10.1996.
Okay. So ideally, we know one thing in our Excel, the date column whatever the data is there, how to present it. We know we have got two formats across the globe we follow. One is DDMMYY, the other one is MMDDYY. But the operator, when you look at, we must take either our hyphen, okay, or we opt it as over here slash, and that too forward slash, not the backslash. So these are the two recognized operators or data separators we must use in the date. Anything except these two, definitely not going to make a date. So having said this, over here, the moment we look at our date column, since the separator is having the dots, it is creating a trouble. Now, how to rectify this? Some people, they will suggest you, Prabhas, we can go for find and replace, but all the time you cannot get 100% success in that. So don't go for it. I'll tell you a beautiful option again. Just say, go to the home tab. Okay, so here the data type, you could see it is showing me general, you can see. Okay, sometimes it will be showing text also, just to identify what is the format we have. Now what you need to do, go to the data menu and then go to text to column. And when you click text to column, it will take you to a wizard like this. Don't do any kind of changes in that. Go for direct next option. And when you click the next option over here, it will take you to the list of delimiters in the next window. Don't change anything on this also. Go for next button. Now, in the third tab, you will be finding your column data format. By default, it shows general, or probably could be sometimes text. But our data is actually in date. So we must change the date option. We need to select the date option. Now here, one more important aspect you always remember. In your data column, the date is in which format? Is it DDMMYY or MMDDYY? So I could see it is showing DDMMYY. So I need to confirm that this drop down also showing DDMMYY. If my data is of MMDDYY, I need to also confirm this MMDD. This is the only thing you have to check. And having said this, now the moment I go and click finish, see the beauty. The entire data is cleaned, which was throwing errors. Now your column is also cleaned and my data is ready. So this is what the simple and sweet solution again from the problem number 2. And this is essential in our SAP driven data people. And unless and until you clean your data in something like this, your data is of no use. It is not ready for the next level. So kindly confirm all of these are working for everybody. Any doubt, any queries? Hope it is clear. All right then, so kindly save all your workbooks. Okay, so this is it from our day 1 side. So I request everyone before coming for day 2 training program, please do one-time practice with all these things, the keyboard shortcuts and the formulas, the functions, the presentation styles, everything. It is very much needed. And if you have any queries, you please make it ready also. And if you have any queries and you want to discuss with me before starting the day 2 training, please drop me a message in the WhatsApp group. So I'll be logging in the meeting room by 1:45 p.m. and dot 1:45 to 2 o'clock. We'll be utilizing the window time for doubt clarification. Then dot 2 p.m. we'll be starting with our day 2. All right. And you'll be getting the recordings maximum by tonight 8 p.m. Don't worry. and I'll be dropping a message in the group as well, and you'll be getting the link in your email also. So go to that recording. Anything is missing, you forgot to do during the practice, you can make use of that. All right. So I believe this was informative.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Prabhas.
No problem, Nagraj. My pleasure. All right. So if you do not have any queries, shall we call it as a day? Or if you have any queries, you can ask me. No problem.
No queries, sir.